So this is this guy that's fisting this girl.
What the fuck? And this is on TV, WWE. What does that have to do with WWE?
Wait, where did wrestling come into this?
No, it's not a wrestling match. That was like the position.
That would be an amazingly bad wrestling show, and I might watch that.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 19, I got it right this time, of the Thought Patrol podcast. We have returned after all the shit that has happened to us. We have been gone for a bit. We do apologize for that. We did get, we had to bend over and spread our ass cheeks for Hurricane Irma, but it wasn't that bad. Lots of wind damage. I don't think any of us were in storm surge amongst the hosts, so that's good. Yeah, it's just lots of wind, craziness, no power, sitting in the heat.
No power.
Of course, all of this happens during the week of Destiny 2's launch, which is just fantastic. So that was rough trying to play the game at the same time. I had multiple moments where I was connected to a generator and I had my phone's hotspot and I was playing Destiny 2 no matter fucking what. I was sitting in front of a fan in the middle of heat. And right after we lost power, and we were getting some Destiny 2 time in. So we did manage to play it. We will be talking about that today, as well as the Nintendo Direct that happened recently. So we're going to kind of skip out on the news, and we're going to devote a lot of the time to Direct and Destiny, because we have a lot to talk about with that. And we'll have our breaking news segment, as always, Germany or Florida. But let's go into some intros. How are you guys doing? We'll start with Sam. How have you been this week?
I've been great. Work is work. It sucks, but it pays the bills.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, and I got a All-Star meeting tomorrow, but I'm not going to it. I'm gonna sleep in. I don't care what anybody says, but no, I had a pretty great past week. Obviously, been playing a lot of Destiny. Of course, we'll talk about it later. Really excited about Nintendo stuff. And I'm still playing through Mario and Rabbids. Great game, great music. Just chipping away at it at work during my lunch break, which I think is the best way to play it because I think I would have no time to play anything else. But yeah, just pretty good week so far.
Good stuff. What about you, Shawn? How have you been the past since we spoke last to the audience?
Since I got power back?
Yeah.
I was able to play up until Sunday night, and then a tornado decided to rip up the backyard and throw it at the house.
We got cows.
And then the power went out. It was funny, too, because it kept jiggling in and out. It would flicker for a moment, and it was me, OG Tyler, and Perry were all playing, and we're like, yeah, this is awesome, all right. And then there was a little flicker, and then there was a little flicker, and we lost Tyler. I'm like, fuck it, we're still surviving, bro. And I remember somebody else was playing with us, too, and we're kicking ass. I'm like, nothing's going to stop us, and the power went out. I was like, motherfucker. And then it was weird, because the next, I think, like 3 days was like going without cigarettes. Because I'm sitting there like, the motherfucking bitches are going to get their fucking power back. Their light level's going to go through the fucking roof. I'm going to sit here being a little bitch. They're going to go to their fucking raid. I'm not going to be able to do shit. Fuck this game. Fuck everything. I'm so up. And then the power came back on 3 days later. I'm like, woohoo, I love you, Destiny. And then I jumped back in, and everyone else had suffered like I had, except for Kyle, who was sucking off a generator, sucking off a janitor, sucking off a generator, and his fucking Wi-Fi on his phone. Apparently, there was a janitor involved too. I didn't know.
Yeah. How do you think I got the power? There was a story I heard. This dude, because with Harvey that blew through Texas as well, they had in a part of Houston, I think they had like a really big gas issue. and a dude put up on like Craigslist or something that he had recently come across like 400 gallons of gasoline, and he was exchanging anal sex for 15 gallons of gasoline, but he was giving it. So he said you could either be a boy or a girl as long as you're an attractive boy. And he said he will use a condom and organic lube, but he was giving out 15 gallons of gas.
And let me guess, he sold out.
That is an enterprising soul. You gotta have
people want that gas.
Some respect for
I almost want to like
individual.
I almost want to like find the Craigslist ad and reply to him and just be like, "How much gas you got left, bro?"
Oh my gosh.
I want to see how well that worked out.
What's anal gaping you
got? God, I want to talk. No, fuck that. I want to talk to the people that traded ass for gas. That's what I want to do.
There you go. That should have been the title of this thing. I wonder if that is. Trading ass for gas.
Trademark
ass for gas.
Copyright that shit.
Yeah, that's you see, when emergencies happen, you get to see. They always have that speech like, "Well, you never know how beautiful the human race is until we hit our darkest moments, and that's when you see the most beautiful elements of people." And then right after they say that, we just show them that Craigslist ad from Texas.
Yeah. Oh man,
here you go. This is an American hero right here. You know, here we go.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of it. Oh, I'll let Tyler go, and then I'll talk about it when it's my turn. Go ahead, Tyler. What you got for us?
What do I got for us? Well, hi guys, good to be back. I've been gone for a while, even before the hurricane.
Don't talk too much, Tyler. I don't know if we can handle it.
So yeah, I've been pretty busy.
Is he muted? Can I not hear him? Do you guys hear him?
Oh no, I hear you.
Shawn, I can hear him. Oh damn. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a pretty busy week for me. I just came back from Sumter County. I was actually going to ask Shawn too, because where he lives, I wasn't too far off from him, but well, I kind of.
I can hear you.
So as I was saying,
I just totally sounded like an asshole a moment ago because I couldn't hear you. I thought we were just waiting for you to talk.
Yeah, I was a little like I was in my quiet corner, waiting to be summoned. But anyways, I was saying I was going to ask you, Shawn, because where you live in Orlando, I was over in Sumter County, which is about an hour west of you. So how close? Do you know how close that is? I was kind of more on the northern side. If you know where Sumter County is.
You were, yeah, I know where it is. But I don't know. I probably could get there. Where are you in Sumter?
Well, I'm not there anymore, but I was over by, was it Dade City or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, I was up there. I was going through some firefighter stuff, and I just came back today, and hopefully I'll get an interview. I'll get a call back, and I might get a job. So I know I have a high. Nice. Yeah, right. I actually have a high chance of getting hired. So because they're hiring 6 people, and there's only a small group of us due to the hurricane. So I gotta honestly give Irma a little thank you there, because Irma helped me possibly get a job. So.
There you go. There's good in everything.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, some dude got some ass out of gas, and then now we got Tyler getting a job interview because a hurricane blew through and drowned half of Florida.
Yep.
So that's always good.
Yep. So now I'm back down. I haven't played any video games lately. However, I got into this new card game called wait for it. Exploding Kittens.
Oh, I've heard of the game.
Have you guys heard of it?
I've heard of it.
At first. So it's a pretty straightforward game. There's a lot of I got it as a gift, and a friend of mine gave me the adult version, and I was like,
oh no,
okay, this is gonna be interesting. For 30 and up, and I was like, wow, why is it so high? Usually it's like
30
21 and up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
30 and up. Right?
What can a 21-year-old not handle that a 30-year-old could?
And well, not even 21, like freaking like an 18-year-old. So, anyways, it's really
probably
crude.
just a gag.
Oh yeah, it's exactly what it is. So it's basically this game where you play up to 5 to 6 players. If you just have like the regular game, there's a few expansions out right now, but you get up to 6 cards, and what you do is you have an X amount, depending on how many people are playing, you have an X amount of exploding kit cards that are randomly shuffled through the deck, right? So out of the cards that you have, your goal is to not pick up one of those cards and have everyone else pick one up and blow up. Hence the title. However, you have a diffuse card everyone starts off with one of these, and so let's say if you pick up an Exploding King card, you can use that defuse to not get out of the game. But then you lose that one, so you don't have another one unless you steal by using another like specialty card from one of the other players. So it's a pretty fun game. At first, it was a little. It sounded really dumb, and I wasn't. No one really got the rules right away. But within I think probably 10 or 15 minutes in, there's a thing called a nope card. So if someone were to let's say it was someone's turn, and they went to go do something like shuffle the deck or take someone's cards or attack a player. Those are some of the cards. Someone could throw down. Anyone could throw down a nope card, and it negates the effect of whatever the other person put down. And so we're like, oh, that's pretty funny, oh, haha, you thought you were going to do this, but no, you can't. And then what the rules allow you to do is if someone else wants to, they can also negate the nope card, so it turns from a nope to a yup, as the rules say in the pamphlet, which is pretty funny. The way how the manual is written, it's kind of like they just say stupid things. So yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I've been playing it. I probably played it 3 or 4 times now. Within the few days I had it or had the opportunity to play it. So yeah, I definitely recommend it if you guys are ever out, at a store somewhere like a Walmart or I don't know, some place that sells game boards or card games or whatever. I would definitely look for it and buy it and just pick one up. There's also an expansion called Imploding Kittens, which is kind of like a twist on the original game. So yeah, I definitely would look into that.
That was our review corner for the week. I've been good. I've been playing a lot of games actually. With the whole getting the computer and then Destiny, which we'll talk about later. I've been going through a shitload of stuff of games that I've had. I had games that I had previously purchased that I could not play because my laptop was a piece of garbage. I just picked them up because they were on sale. And then I had new games that I had picked up. But the hurricane did come through. It did do damage and it did take out power. We all kind of had understood we were going to lose power at one point or another. I think I had lost mine Friday afternoon. And it was just a lot of sitting in heat. I think losing the power is the worst thing besides storm surge or flooding. But the losing powers, it's that's a mind game at that point. You're battling a mind game. You're it's hot. I have nothing to do. And I just got to find a way to pass the time. And I spent a lot of that time fucking sleeping.
I can't masturbate like this.
Please. A true master can masturbate in any situation.
Well, I guess I'm not a master then.
Yeah, you're not. You're not a master
Sweaty
baiter.
palm friction.
So yeah, dude, you have natural lubricant in your body. It's called sweat.
I thought you were going to say spit.
I mean, hey, it counts.
In my mouth.
Oh God, it counts. It counts. But with that,
plus you had your janitor. So
yeah, I do have my janitor.
Yeah, that's right. You're handy dandy.
He came with generator, but I did have my PlayStation set up to the generator once the rain and all the wind died down. We were just waiting for the power to come back up, and I was getting some Destiny 2 time in, no matter fucking what happened. So I did play quite a bit of Destiny 2, a lot on my own because just hotspot, you have a type 3 NAT, so it's kind of shitty. It's hard to play with some people. Although I did manage to do about half the raid on a fucking hotspot. I don't know how the hell that ended up working, but it did. But again, we'll talk about Destiny when we get into that. Other games I've been playing, I did play Wolfenstein because I know the second one's coming out soon, so I did pick it up for PC. They released that bundle where it was that and the Old Blood. Oh, excuse me. For $30. So I picked that up, downloaded both. Really, really enjoyed the first one. The first Wolfenstein. I'm not really too far into the second one yet, but I love everything about the first one. I like the story. I like the idea of Nazi Germany winning the war and then proceeding to take over what they do take over. And then in the second one, we obviously see that they move. We'll get to see what the states look like after all this happens and stuff like that. But it's just cool. You're just your typical American badass kind of thing. It's pretty much the initial Wolfenstein. It's just prettier and it's got more of a fleshed out story going on. but it's just super fun. A lot of really cool set pieces, lots of awesome action, multiple moments where you're just doing like badass stuff and you feel like a badass like that. There's like one part where you're taking on this like tripod walker that's going, and you have the whole fight with that. There's a lot of moments. I didn't expect like actual sex scenes, which is weird because they're bringing these games to the Switch, which is what we'll also talk about. Oh, they're bringing the second one to the Switch. We'll talk about that later.
Alter any of those?
I don't know. Well, they got a fucking booby grabbing game coming to the Switch. They're not going to alter that, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But bro,
go with the flow.
You're coming to my house, Tyler, when I get that game. We're going to have a grand old time.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
Got some titties.
Yeah, grab some titties. The realistic, I don't know, they say something, it feels like you're actually grabbing a tit besides the weight. I don't know how they're going to manage that shit out, but they said they had scientists behind it. I expect no less from the Senran Kagura team than to have real-life scientists behind this action of how to grab a tit and make it feel realistic to a video game.
I want to see the behind-the-scenes of the making of this game and the making of that feature. Like, did they
give me a documentary
out there?
Give me a documentary.
Yeah, right? They hired like 50 different women of like all different cup sizes, and it's like they're like going down the line. I'm like,
yes, this titty's quite elastic.
Yeah, like, here, quick, write this down. Like, I just like see a guy with like a clipboard, like, oh, like he's like watching the other doctor as she's like groping her. He's like, oh, yes, I didn't think about this before. Of course, genius.
Oh man, this is revolutionary. The tit bounces.
Yes.
We did not know this before.
Cold, it gets hard.
Yes. But that I'm just excited for the Switch stuff we're getting for the Switch, which again we'll talk about in a bit. But besides Irma and Wolfenstein, I've been just playing other games. My sister's been going through BioShock. She really likes BioShock. She's never played the first. She's only played Infinite before. She just finished 1, and she had to go through that whole craziness that happened when you find out about the main character and stuff, and why you're truly there, and the whole "would you kindly" stuff happened. So she was flipping out about that, which I found was funny because she's.
Did she play the DLC for Infinite, the Burial at Sea, or no?
I don't think so. We have it on the PC, but I don't think she's played it.
Those episode 1 and 2, I think it is, like part 1 and 2. I think it's episode 1 and 2, and then 2 or 1 has 2 parts, whatever. So that kind of delves into BioShock 1, kind of before it goes to shit, and then as it like starts to go to shit.
That's cool.
And toward the end, so it really ties into it. So that's why I was asking, because if you said you played that first, which I did too, but I didn't play the DLC though. And then I played 1 and 2. But I recently got the Ultimate Rapture Edition or whatever it's called, with like the revamped graphics and all the extra content. But I just wanted to make sure. I don't know if she played the DLC for Infinite or not, because that really like gives you a gist of what's going to go on when she starts playing the first one. So you'll know more, and like it's kind of a spoiler really if you don't.
Yeah, because they're like assuming you know about it already, and it's just a tie. Yeah. No, I understand. I don't think she has. That was in a time where I didn't have a job. So stuff we got was like on occasion. We didn't own as many games, so I don't really think we had DLC as often.
Yeah.
It was tough. I remember like the Halo 3 days trying to get all that stuff.
Back in the day when we didn't have as much DLC, I am like, back in the day when we had 8-bit cartridges, motherfucker.
Back in the day when games were complete.
Damn.
Yeah. When they got thoroughly tested and it was rare for them to have severe game-breaking bugs.
Yes. We're looking at you, Andromeda. I saw a tweet, and I was talking about this with Sam a bit earlier, but they were saying the top selling games of the year based on NPD like stats. And at number 1, they had Ghost Recon Wildlands. I don't know how the fuck, but they take like global stats of sales. So apparently Wildlands did really well like overseas. I don't know how the fuck. I
think it was well advertised too. I want to say I remember seeing commercials.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
They and at number 2 I think is Breath of the Wild. at number 3. 3 was something. 4 was For Honor. 5 was Horizon Zero Dawn. Like 6 was something else, and then 7 was Andromeda, which is interesting.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, and Grand Theft Auto 5 was up there.
I think Grand Theft Auto was like
which
4.
Actually, I learned today that it's the best-selling game per unit, and that's been tracked by MPD. It's the best-selling game ever.
Yeah, it's crazy. I believe it though. The amount of and people still play that game.
Putting stuff into that game. Yeah. People still playing. They're still doing stuff with the game.
It's crazy.
And I think it's like free too. Like they're just adding on more crap.
Yeah, because they know they don't need the money.
I don't love the game, but I love their business
market
model.
Yeah. Hoping that they'll carry that on with Red Dead 2, because that one, I feel like it's gonna be more of a niche crowd in a sense of like the online stuff. Because I don't think everybody's gonna be like drawn to the cowboy western stuff. I know I am, because I love that history era, but hopefully they'll see what they do with 5 and say, maybe we should just translate this to Red Dead, but make it different, but still have that same, like, okay, we're going to give you free stuff after launch, we're going to give you community stuff and everything, because I think that's what made 5 online so great.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. I trust them to do what they'll do. I'm kind of sad it's not coming to PC, though, because I really don't want to...
it eventually will,
because I have no plan to play it for multiplayer, and if it's a single-player experience I can get on PC, I'd rather get it on PC, but multiplayer I'm going to try and stick to PS4, because all you guys are there. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather play with you guys on PS4 if it's multiplayer or something co-op like Destiny and all that other stuff. But if it's a single player, I'd rather have that experience on the computer. So it kind of sucks it's not coming to that, but it's really not that big of a deal. It's whatever. I don't even know if I'm going to pick it up at this point. There's so many other games coming out, so there's a lot to still go through.
The wallet's only so thick.
Yeah, but speaking of that, we are working on upgrading a bit more. If you guys are a part of the Discord, you'd know this, but I did get a webcam, so we will have a webcam. We will have video for the podcast now. It does 1080p at 30 and 720 at 60. So you guys need to let me know in the community, or leave a comment below, join the Discord, let me know, send us an email. We'll have all the information below. What you'd rather see, the 60 frames or the 30 at a higher resolution. So I need to know that.
Good to see how ugly we really are.
Yeah. See definitely how
I'm
much
ugly and I'm proud.
Yeah, definitely see how much of a radio we have radio faces. So I'd say again, just let me know. It will be up. It should come in Monday, so it will be up by Wednesday when we do our after hours then. So we will be streaming that as always. If you guys want to come hang out, you'll see what whoever's at my house looks like, but you won't see what anyone else looks like. We're going to keep that a secret. So definitely exciting stuff moving forward. We're going to also resume the Let's Plays, streaming, all that other stuff. I'm going to try and get my sister to do a Let's Play if she wants to. I haven't been able to do that yet, so I'm the one that's been putting out most of the content Let's Play-wise and streaming-wise. I do appreciate you guys stopping by. We have made a couple followers on Twitch as I've done certain things. I've played some Fallout New Vegas, other games. But, yeah. Again, for information like updates, either Discord or Twitter is probably the best way to keep up with what we're doing. I put any updates there. Also, if you want to come talk with the hosts and stuff like that. So I'm glad you were all able to join me for episode 19 of the Thought Patrol podcast. We're going to get right into some of the more clerical shit real quick. We have our we have our Discord. There will be a link in the description below. If you like what we're doing and you want to help us out, you can either subscribe, click that bell, get continued content from us, leave a comment, engage in the conversation we have. If you have anything that we talk about, especially with Nintendo, what they're doing, or Destiny 2, any opinions you have on that, feel free to leave a comment below. We'll love to hear from you. You can follow us on Twitter for updates on the podcast. If you really like us and you really want to help, because this is probably the most out-of-the-way thing you could do for us, is an iTunes review. Or anything you're listening to us through, if they have a rating service, give us 5-star, whatever star. We will read them on the podcast. and just talk about them. Really appreciate it. If you want to send us a question for us to answer on the podcast, we do have a mailbag section in the Discord, or you could send it an email to us or add us on Twitter. Again, all that stuff will be in the description below. So, with all that crap out of the way, we're going to move on to our Germany or Florida segment. First, with our casting call, we're going to set up the roles here.
Okay.
Me, Sam, and Tyler talked about it a little bit before Shawn popped in. I think we could. I think we've heard Sam. I want Sam to give us some kind of Valley Girl, so the community can hear it. And
sweet ear for it.
Because Tyler's was shit. I ain't gonna lie. Tyler's was shit.
I was kind of reading. I was going in and out of it. Hey! I will definitely give it to Sam. That was pretty good stuff.
I think what we could do is we could have like Shawn be the reporter, and then Sam be the Valley Girl, and then Tyler can be the anchor, and I could sit this one out. How does that sound?
All right. That'll work.
All right.
Shawn, you down with that, Shawn?
Yeah.
I think you two can you can pull off a good Valley Girl. I want to hear this exchange. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy.
Do that.
So, we are going to move on to our Florida or Germany segment with our breaking news. I don't know why you guys feel the need to start that every fucking time we go. Why is that always there?
Shows haven't done that since the early 80s. Like, that shit's old.
And I edit music in. Like, it sounds... Okay. Oh, man.
Wait, I'm the reporter?
Yeah, you're the reporter.
Okay.
Sam will be
Crystal.
we were
just about to start, and Shawn didn't know his own rule.
Who's anchor?
What?
Tyler's anchor.
Okay.
That'd be me, my good sir. All right.
I have faith in you guys. Take it away. I want this Oscar-level performance to hit me hard. I better be crying after this.
Ready to bring the tears, baby.
Are we all good?
Good evening. Okay.
Oh, okay. My bad. Go ahead.
Are you not? No.
I'm good. No, I'm sitting back. The host has receded into his golden throne, and we're good to go.
All right.
It's a toilet, guys, not a throne.
It's still golden, bitch.
Yeah.
True that.
Like the flush. Where am I here? I just lost shit. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Channel 69. 69, I love that. Community Corner segment, where we meet with members of our amazing community and experience a chapter in their amazing stories. It's amazing! Speaking of amazing, let's check in with our amazing reporter, Shawnee Boy. Since they've done so very well with legitimate, hard-hitting news in the past here with Channel 69, they received have their talents relocated here in our Community Corner, segment. Oh, yeah. Let's see what this amazing community member they're speaking with today.
Well, thanks a bunch, Tyler. I'm thrilled to be here. I really am. After all the riveting excitement I've experienced in the streets, I'm thrilled to immerse myself in all of our local culture and its flavor. To inaugurate my first day on Community Corner, I'm so very excited to introduce all of you to Crystal Darling, whom the folks at the studio have told me is a refreshing and colorful personality. Crystal, I've been told you have some very colorful fashion ideas for pets, especially dogs. Being a dog lover myself, I'd love for you to tell all of us here more about what the canine fashion trends are that you've been setting.
Well, like, I just don't know what you're actually saying, but I love doggies and puppies and little doggies and little puppies and baby doggies and baby puppies and even cuter ones and vegan doggies and stuffed puppies. Not real ones. I mean, like, pretend ones. I especially love poochies. All dressed up in furry little baby peoples. I totes gonna make loads of peeps peeping my doggo's awesome rags.
Okay, alright, fine. I get it. Right back at you, Tyler. What is your most newest rage that everybody's talking about?
So, down at the Rod Rocket, we just made a much account of those most bad at maths and not really look at that. So lots of us in on the government assistance, and since the totes more than I'm dancing, I spend it all legitimately on money. Tucks for little Quim hair.
So, like, you totes spent public tax dollars to make, custom tucks for your fiddle? Am I right?
Oh my god, I totally did! It was epic! I totally have to tweet this out all my girls, yo. My taxes I've saved for Quim's new $30,000 tux!
Wait, no, actually, that's my taxes. And the taxes of our viewers are the taxes you spend on your little turd burglar shit over there, you stupid twat. Holy shit, seriously? I leave a brutal amount of brainless morons and crazy fucktards to go with harmless domestic news and puff pieces, and I'm still surrounded by the cream of the crop? I give up. Everyone I interview, who I work with, everyone who watches or listens, you're all morons and I hate you. Back to you, Tyler. I hope you die.
And that's been another round of Community Corner with our new face, and on this segment, Shawn. I can't wait to see what wonderful new gems we'll get to enjoy in ongoing episodes. See you next time, guys. Have a good one.
Nice.
I had to mute my mic for a while when Sam started going.
That was killer.
Those were good.
Sam in his past life was a Valley girl.
I'm telling you, Sam, you went from you had toward the end, you started going like surfer girl, like you had like the kind of thing going on.
There's fucking two characters.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like what if I go surfing with my puppies and oh my god. Dude.
When accents collide.
Great, I applaud both you guys. Oh my god, that was great.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right.
I had a headache.
So the actual article to that was a woman used government funds to buy her dog a tuxedo. That legitimately happened. I think it was actually $30,000. No, I didn't give you the article. It wasn't $30,000. I think it was like $3,000 to $4,000 she spent. She charged it to her company's card that is a government company, something like that. And she bought a tuxedo for her dog, and she was properly reprimanded for that. That just sounds like a dumb thing. So before we move on to our box office and we talk about some of the movies that have been over the past week that have come out, what do you guys think? Where do you think this is coming out of?
This has to be Florida.
I can't see this being Germany. Yeah, this has to be Florida. I mean, I can't see Germany doing something stupid like this.
We can't see half the shit that Germany does as something that Germany does. They always throw a curveball at us. They never fail in that.
As someone who's actually met people from Germany, especially my sister has a friend from Germany, and talking to her and stuff, I don't see them doing something like this. Like, this is definitely an American person from Florida who did this crap.
Yeah, you have to change the location so Germany make it like Brazil or something like that,
or Arizona,
or what's a really white state?
We'll just make it the whole world,
Wyoming?
guys. I'll get a weird story and you'll have to guess where it's coming from. How about that?
There you go.
To make it impossible.
Where in the world is this story coming from?
Where in the world?
Stop it. All right, so are we all gung ho for Florida then?
Yeah, Florida.
What about you, Shawn?
El Florida.
Yeah, I'm going with Florida.
Cool. All right, we'll come back to that after our box office tops, like I said previously. Oh, man, I got the burps. All right, so moving on to our box office tops, we have at number 1. Obviously, everyone's been hearing about it. We have It at number 1. It grossed $158 million in its first week on a budget of $35 million.
Gosh.
At number 2, we have Home Again, which grossed $11 million in its first week with a budget of $12 million. At number 3, we have The Hitman's Bodyguard, with a gross of almost 7 million, with a 56% change from last week, and a total gross of 66 million, a budget of 30 million, and it being in its 4th week. Number 4, we have Annabelle Creations, still holding on at 5 million, a 52% drop from last week. It has grossed 97 million in its runtime, which was 5 weeks, and it had a budget of 15 million. And at number 5, we have Wind River, which made 4 million this week, a 50% drop from last week. It is on its 6th week with an $11 million budget, and it has grossed $26 million in its runtime. So, have any of you seen any of these movies? Seen any movies recently?
No, I have not been to the theater in a long time.
Damn.
Hurricane put a big damper
Yeah,
on that.
Hurricane.
I was planning on seeing it the weekend it came out.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's also one of the highest grossing R-rated films in its first week. So that's really cool. So we'll definitely be seeing a fucking sequel.
Not one of, I think it's the.
Yeah, it is the. So
One of the most anticipated
It's
too.
the.
that's
But yeah, I
crazy.
was trying to watch the original before watching the new one, and I remember before the hurricane hit, I had it DVR'd, and it all happened because it's a long movie. Because the way how it's split up into segments, as we were talking about earlier before the podcast started. But because I had never seen it before, but I remember like some point when it was recorded, the storm was coming in and out. This is right before it like hit us on that Sunday, but like it was getting really windy and rainy and stuff like that. So the DVR, it didn't record properly. It kept going in and out. But it was like with commercials. I think it was like I'm gonna say Spike or Sci-Fi or something like that. But it recorded off of it was like 4.5 hours or 5 hours or something like that worth of
yeah, it was lengthy.
recording. It's huge. So yeah, and so I didn't really know the story. I'm like, how can they make a? I mean, I know a lot of Stephen King books are. I mean, I think the book by itself is like over 1,000 pages. So I mean, you gotta think how they cram that into a 2.5 hour movie. Like I think that's how the new one is. I think it's about that long. So I heard also they might make another one too, depending on.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that they left it open at the end of it
I don't want to
because
spoil. I don't want to make spoilers for it, but like
Yeah.
I don't know if it really is one. Did you look into that? Like, do you know how they're?
No.
Okay, so-
Well, from what I understand, without spoiling anything, the way the original story goes is they encounter this demon, Tenpenny, as children, and then they grow older to re-encounter the demon.
Yeah.
Because the demon comes back, and they fight him off in their older ages. So that's kind of like the
Tenpenny.
what is it? Is it
Pennywise.
Oh, Tenpenny. I've been playing Fallout. That might be what it's
Yeah,
from.
he's
That's
not
Tenpenny Tower.
Technically, he's not really a demon.
Well, whatever he is, he's also not really a clown. He kind of manifests himself in the fears of whoever he appears to. But the clown just became popular because he was spooky in that in that time period, at least. But
clowns attract children.
well, that too. But that's not necessarily okay. I understand what you're going.
That was Pennywise's original inspiration behind taking the form. Was it was easier to get children close to the demon.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you just show up in like a sewer grate, and then, yeah, you attract everybody that way. But I'd be more confused than anything else if I saw a clown in a sewer
He's
grate.
an extra player entity. I mean, demon. There's more pseudoscience behind it than anything. He's one of the pets of the Crimson King from the Dark Tower series.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I heard they're all linked with.
That's interesting.
Stephen King's
Or apparently
multiverse
all of
is
Stephen
all
King.
related.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's crazy.
dude, I'm
Like,
all
the Mist
about.
is a huge aspect too.
I'm all about
That's pretty-
multiverses. I need to find a YouTube video explaining all that tonight.
Yeah.
I'm all about that shit.
It takes a long. I've explained it to people, and it takes fucking forever. And there's even bits and pieces that I'm not familiar with.
That's awesome.
But it's like layers of a cake, and all these stories either take place in the same world or in a world that's a reflection of another world. Like there's different realities. The Dark Tower exists in all realities. In one reality, it's a flower. In another one, it's a skyscraper. It's pretty crazy.
Sounds cool. But yeah, from what I understand, they're definitely setting it up for a sequel. I've heard that if you are going to this movie, it is rated R, like we said, and it is pretty graphic when it comes to the reasoning behind it being rated R. There's a lot of gory scenes, and it is dealing with children. I think the main character, what's his name? Richie, is that his name?
Yeah, one of them's Richie.
Yeah, he's played by one of the kids from Stranger Things. The main character from Stranger Things.
His name is Finn Wolfen something.
Yeah, I've heard that all the kids that were acting in the film did an excellent job of keeping it within, so that you're not being pulled out of the movie by bad acting. But I've heard that everyone did a fantastic job, that it was just a good movie overall. It was well told, it was well written. I've heard some people complain that there was a bit too many jump scares, but then again, it's a scary movie. I'm not about jump scares. I feel I'd rather have something that's like a psychological horror or an atmospheric horror than just straight up jump scares. That's why I don't really like scary movies. I feel they get annoying that way. But yeah, I've heard it was really good, and we could obviously tell it's made $160 million in a week. So, but we'll definitely be seeing more of it. If you like scary movies, this is definitely something that you need to be putting at the top of your list. Very good series, really cool stuff, and I'm glad it's doing well. Much better than Annabelle Creation, still sitting there at number 4.
Yeah,
That's just
You know what's funny about a lot of those, most Stephen King movie adaptations don't do so well, and I think this is like one of the first ones, other than like probably The Shining. I would just throwing out there as a guess. Like that one part, I'm sure did good.
Didn't The Shining like not do well in box office, but it became like a cult hit?
I mean, a lot of his movies probably turned out that way, but I thought The Shining actually did well. Maybe not like super well, but
let me find out.
Stephen King's movies have always been garbage because the content in his books is too dense to adapt to a 2-hour movie. That's why the miniseries were always a better choice. As a matter of fact, the only good Stephen King movies I've seen have all been based... No, I'll take it back. Misery was good.
Yeah,
but
Misery.
The rest of them are all fucking hot garbage because when you try and compress a story too much, you end up with like just an incoherent mess, like the last Transformers movie. If they had taken like 4 movies to try and do that story, it might have made some kind of fucking sense.
Yeah, The Shining, the week... Sorry, Shawn. The week, or the weekend that The Shining came out... Can I get the week, I wonder? I'm like researching this. Shit, 1 second. In the weekend, it only made $622,000, but I'm trying to see in that week how much it made, because its gross domestic is $44 million.
Yeah.
But I don't want the weekend.
It's always been seen as a success, but that was way before any of our times. I don't know.
Yeah. Then again, that was also in 1980, so obviously you account for the change in time.
Yeah, inflation and stuff. Too.
Yeah.
Like how much money that would be. Quick, since just talking about real quick about the topic of horror movies, they're making another Halloween movie, and
are they like trying to
reprising her role?
Are they trying to like start up this thing?
And John Carpenter is, I think, producing, and he's also like, what's it called when like they're going to him for ideas too, like whoever the director is. So he's given his kind of his. I don't want to say like his own thoughts on it. Like what we think.
Dead.
I'm trying to remember what happened because I remember it was like at the end of H2O, Halloween 20 years later, there was a sequel to that.
Right, and she dies in the very beginning.
Did she?
Yeah, he finally killed her. Halloween's probably one of the few slasher films I legitimately enjoy, and it's mostly just the first 2.
Yeah,
because it got really, really stupid after that.
That's kind of how every like slasher movie goes. I mean, I liked 4 and 5 weren't too bad, but yeah, definitely everyone like all of them after that are like meh. And don't even get me started on Season of the Witch because that wasn't even a Halloween.
Now,
movie.
is Halloween a part of like this whole like dark monster universe they're trying to start up?
No.
Halloween was Fox,
Universal
and that's
Pictures,
Universal.
Yeah, which they're failing with too. With I mean, they started off with their faces in the dirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Mummy did horribly.
Forward to
they're not doing very well.
And the Wolfman, I was really looking forward to that stuff.
Yeah.
But now they're pretty much doing like an Avengers thing, but with the monsters.
Superheroes, stupid.
Yeah,
it would have done a horror universe and not been afraid to kill off. As long as they didn't make the monsters the main characters all the time, like for instance, or they could do that. I mean, that would be interesting too. But you got to be able to put protagonist and some form of threat. You can't kill Dracula or a werewolf or whatnot if they're going to be a main character, unless you replace them. So I don't know how they would have done that. You would have had to have had non-monster protagonists so that you could kill them off and keep the monster story going. And I don't know how they would do that legitimately. It would be great if they how.
A battle royale.
It'd be more of like you would have the origin stories for each of them, having a link in between, and then having one movie to culminate where like you'd have a team that would go try to take these monsters down because they're like, either causing problems or, they're a threat. But, I just wish that like, I saw that Dracula movie and it wasn't like bad, but it was, I see they were going a little over the top trying to make it more of like
It started off really good though.
Yeah, it did, and the way it ended was kind of, I don't know. I just
Reborn,
didn't.
you mean?
Is that the
Which one?
The
one with
one
Orlando
from a few years
Bloom?
back, Dracula Reborn.
No, it wasn't
No,
Orlando
wasn't
Bloom.
Bloom.
It
That was
was
the guy he played as Bard from The Hobbit. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Very similar to Orlando Bloom in countenance.
Yeah.
He looks just like him.
Interesting.
If you had a cousin, that'd be him.
He was also going to be the guy that was going to play the Crow in the last attempt at a reboot.
They are making a reboot.
And reboots, movie mashups, like what all these mixed universes, man. Like we're running out of ideas apparently.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Some stuff is cool to see on the big screen now. The CG we have today, like I can't wait to see King Kong and Godzilla and how they go at that. I mean, it's probably
I
really
can't
dumb,
wait for that. That's gonna be
but
awesome.
I'm gonna love it. I mean,
dude, nostalgia's a powerful dick sucker, man. That's how they pull people in.
It is.
Which brings a good point.
Really
Like,
appreciate nostalgia.
I like nostalgia, but here's the thing: is that I think the problem is that we're stuck in this nostalgia era, and we're not pushing forward with newer ideas as much. I really would like to see more original, like, ideas. I mean, not saying that I don't appreciate these reboots and stuff, but it just seems like every other day you hear a reboot about this or a sequel to that, and I don't know. I just would like to see something new.
I like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just think nostalgia has blinded Hollywood and most media. It's just the same thing, or it's a revision of it, which is not a bad thing. It's introducing an older franchise to a newer crowd, which would get them to appreciate what came before. But again, you're sacrificing innovation and something fresh for something old. That was loved.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it. As long as they treat the original properties with respect and they treasure them instead of fucking shitting on them like they did with Ghostbusters or Transformers.
Yeah,
especially the last 3 or 4 Transformers.
Yeah.
Like if they actually appreciated the product and brought the same magic to the product that they did before, which is completely fucking possible.
Yeah,
they don't. But it's possible.
Yeah.
They'd fucking do that. You wouldn't hear me complaining. But I think they need to fucking... I don't want them to stop. But I would like them to slow down on it until they can learn to understand that the people that are bringing money to your fucking movie are not the new viewers. It's largely the people that love this shit that have grown up with it or have become fans with it because it's classic, so on and so forth. And they don't give 2 shits. All they care about is getting... And it's everyone who's 24 to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And... I could think of a half dozen movies per second that I have tons of friends that are 24 that they appreciate that aren't exactly brand fucking new.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty absurd, but that's because it's idiots who don't think for a living. They just spend money for a living.
What it is, and a great example, and I don't know if everybody can really relate this, but and this has to do with the game. Sonic Mania that just came out was created by fans of this game, and it did extremely well. Yes, it was a revision of the older stuff, but it was done with so much love and care, and it such a respect to the original that it is awesome. I wish that same mentality would be given to these movies and reboots that, like you're saying with Transformers. I really wish they would have just minimize the amount of human element in the movie and just focused on the actual, Autobots and Decepticons instead of trying to create these elaborate, CGI heavy, scenes, which I understand they have to do that with robots. But again, I wish more fans, more people who actually had a love for this stuff to make this, because I think what it is just these corporations are just saying, we need to make money. Let's just throw out crap that we think will attract the people. They'll spend their money. They won't care. We'll make money. We can just, move on. There's not enough attention to stuff these days. So you would see more longevity, and people would actually like it if it were made by people who actually had respect for these series.
For the most part, I agree with you, but I think you're dancing a line between objective and subjective.
Yeah.
When you're talking about that, because a lot of that, it is a business. It needs to make money. Period. Yeah. I get that. I respect that. But if you want to take a look at something that was very successful, that made way more than its money back, and again, Kyle's brought this point up because I've had this conversation with him like 20 times, and I always bring up the same example, which is Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. I'm a super geek. We all are here. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of universes that I'm familiar with and mythologies that I'm familiar with. And I know Street Fighter fairly well. The manga, the animes, the games, mm-hmm. the ongoing universe, a lot of the newer storylines I'm not privy to. But I know like the first, 5-10 years of in-game story. And I watched Assassin's Fist, and spot for spot, it kept canon except for one detail. It changed when Ryu gets his red sash, his bandana, his headband. It changes when he gets that. That's the mm-hmm. only thing they changed.
Yeah.
The guy that made the movie that was cut up into a series on YouTube, the guy who made it is a diehard Street Fighter fan. Yeah. And he made it without Capcom's influence. He did it himself, and they liked what he was doing so much that they gave their blessing, but they had nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
The posing, the speech, the behavior, the moves, the martial arts, every single bit of it was a love note to the original show. Mm-hmm. But it stands as its own piece of entertainment. It is the only time I have seen somebody take a property, transition into another medium, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever seen it happen. But if he could do it, it can be done. Mm-hmm. And that could have been a successful, financially driven movie. You can do it. I just don't think that it's financially feasible for studios to do. I don't think they're really willing to do that. I think it might take too much, or I don't know. I think if they started shrinking budgets rather than inflating them, I think we might have a different experience. I think people get more creative mm-hmm. and they're willing to put more thought into story when you can't wow people with money.
Yep.
But then Michael Bay can't blow stuff up.
Fuck Michael Bay. God, this world would be better off.
He ruined Ninja Turtles. He ruined Ninja Turtles.
Speaking of shitty movies, now that we're on that topic, I was listening to this thing. Now, recently we just got it out of our Blockbuster season for movies, right? And I heard an article, they were talking about the fact that like movie studios believe that Rotten Tomatoes are the reason why all their movies did bad, right? Well, for anyone that doesn't know, Rotten Tomatoes is like a peer review system, so you can log on and review something, and it will compile a percentage to give you how shitty a movie is based on public consensus, pretty much. So they're saying, like, just like the thought of that, the immense stupidity. Like, really? Yeah. It seems almost like they're trying to get out of the fact that, hey, we made a couple shitty movies. We didn't get really anything that struck hard with the audience, so let's blame it on the fact that they're allowed to review it. Fuck you guys for saying that our movie's bad. Our movie's good.
Yeah.
So don't tell your friends that it's shit, because they need to go spend money, $40 to $80, depending on who you go with, to go see this movie. No. Fuck movie studios. Admit that your shit's stupid and broken or whatever. It's, oh god, that shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I think this also leads to like social media being. I mean, like you said, Rotten Tomatoes, which is through the internet, and a lot of people, everyone goes in their phone every day, hundreds of times a day. I'm sure, the way how we are now in today's society, always has some excuse to look at your phone. And I used to look at Rotten Tomatoes a lot too because I'm a pretty good. Like I can consider myself like a decent movie buff, so I like looking at that stuff. I'm also curious to see what people say, both good and bad reviews for movies I care about, and those I'm really bored. I just want to go through stuff. But like the criticism has always been there. I just think that the fact that how we think of social media now, and it is this like huge like monstrosity of like this like huge like. I don't know if it's brainwashing, but like everyone looks at it, so everyone sees it all the time.
Tyler's like battling with his own idea here. He's like fighting a war with himself.
But also, we had this type of criticism before, and I'm not talking about TV, but I'm talking about newspapers. Back then, and this is the thing, because I used to do this as a kid. I used to go.
I'm sorry, Tyler. I imagine him sitting there. He's sitting and he's sitting there talking, and he's like got his hands up, and he's like, "Hey, we used to have this thing called newspapers." Before the digital age, they took paper and they wrote on it and they distributed it to people. Like
the fucking blasphemy right there.
That's so weird. Like it's just Tyler losing his mind.
Right
Again, you're fighting with your own idea. I can hear it.
So, because I wasn't sure how I wanted to put it and transition to my newspaper section here. So, so I got a headache and laughing is not helping. Oh my! But in all seriousness, though, they all right. I don't know if I even can. In all whatever. So they're used to. They have comments and criticisms. In the movie sections, and I used to read them as a kid a lot too, because that was the only time I ever opened up a newspaper, other than read maybe the cartoons or the little comic strips. But that was there too. But also there was only so many people that read the damn newspaper, so it's always been there. And they also, I remember, they had the star rating too, and obviously it was a lot more basic. There wasn't all these these features or these different ways you can observe how good or bad the movie was. You just read if it was a good or bad review, and there might be one or two people saying something about it, and then it's here, this got 3 stars or 3.5 stars or whatever it was, and it's oh, okay, so you go off of that. Now think about how many people would read the newspaper that day and maybe I should not go see this movie now because it says who really, I mean, did your parents, any of your parents, read the newspaper, or your grandparents or something like that? Because I see no one read the newspaper now.
No,
except my grandfather.
No one that I know reads the
people,
newspaper.
If they read, it's gonna be online, and also too, you gotta think back then, movies were so much cheaper to go see, and the reason why people went out so much to go see movies is it was cheaper, and there were reviews and stuff, but people just went because, hey, it's relatively cheap. It's
something to do, Well, that's what one of the movies was for, was to kind of spend time and hang out with your friends, get some popcorn, blah blah blah. But I'm not talking about the money aspect here, even though maybe that does have a role to play, because they are expensive now. Tickets are expensive, popcorn's expensive, drinks are expensive, and half the time now you go in the damn theater and it's someone's spoiling the movie, someone's on their goddamn phone, and you just that really
oh my god! Listen, you guys have triggered me. That when we went to go see,
no, Kyle, I have stories.
Fuck, when we went to go see, what's it called? When we went to go see Castle in the Sky, there was this fucking guy next to me, to the left of me, that was there, and he was He was the loudest eater I have ever heard in my life. This man was crunching on popcorn, and you know how you take you take a couple pieces, you put it in your mouth, you chew on it with your mouth closed, and you're done. You're eating your popcorn slowly. This man, handfuls of fucking popcorn in the mouth, and that was the whole fucking movie, and I was this close to going postal. I was
like, when it's like subconscious, whenever you eat popcorn, like in a movie theater, you wait for the loud parts and not the quiet parts because you think I seriously think all the fucking time. That's what I'm drinking my the Coke and it's almost empty, so it sounds like I'm like sucking up the air, like making fucking
slurping.
I'm like, I'm an asshole.
It's like it's my sister was she's like that when she's trying to open something. So we'll go and get our candy beforehand, because fuck buying candy at the movie theater. So we'll go and stop by like a CVS or something and pick up a big bag of candy for like half the price. And every time my sister, when there's something going on, like she waits to the loud parts and then you'll see her like diving into her bag and pulling out the big ass bags of cellophane. Because all the shit's or not cellophane, but it's like the plastic, and so she's like, within like seconds, she's got all the candy out, and then she's like slowly trying to open it while it's quiet and stuff like that. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Or like with soda cans. Have you ever bought a soda can and you wait for a loud part?
I've never bought a soda can, but I can imagine there's like a really sweet movement happening, and you hear like the air escaping the can as Tyler pops it open. Yeah. Oh man!
Like you if like shook it too much without noticing.
God!
Fuck!
Oh man! Fuck! Okay, rant over with that.
Yeah.
Yo, wait. We're final thoughts, guys. Let's wrap this up. We're already an hour in. We still have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that was a big topic right there. It's all about it too, wasn't it?
Big topic. That was like 50 big topics.
Yeah, we pinballed around quite a bit.
How we keep branching off,
Yeah, this is Segway City, guys.
But we're sexy about it, and that's what's important.
There you go. As long as you're sexy about it. Anything's okay if you're sexy about it. All right, so we got over our box office tops.
Let's suck air through your teeth, Kyle. You forgot. You have to suck air through your teeth to be sexy. Porn has taught you that. So it's like sexy.
That reminds me of that noise that you made because it was really fucking loud. It reminded me when Antony in Destiny 2, Antony got the emote. They have some emotes that are like neon. And Antony got the one where you're like, it's the ramen. So every time he does it, you hear him position his mic as far into his mouth that he can manage. Yes. And then he's like on his mic as loud as possible. And it is the funniest. It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever watched. Because he's like slurping the ramen with his character, and he'll just go ham on the mic. I love that shit so much. Every time he does it, I can imagine us doing like Trials of the Nine, Sam. I can imagine us like going for Trials of the Nine, where it like shows all your characters before the match starts, and everyone does the emote they have selected, and then him like on the mic just going ham. Oh man, it's so fucking funny.
Dude, I threatened to choke slam him into a box of thumbtacks last time he did that. It was so fucking
bad. We just lost Tyler. All right, he'll be back in a second, I hope. So yeah, after the movies, we had quite a segue with that. But we're going to move on to our Nintendo Direct stuff. Talk about that a bit before we move on to Destiny 2. Actually, wait. Before we do that, Germany or Florida? Our Germany or Florida answer, it was, in fact, Germany.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was Germany. It was like... I don't think it was... It was like somewhere near...
What are you doing? It's like we just told him about gravity for the first time, or like that Harry Potter's real. He's like, wow! We just gave a little kid his first lightsaber. This motherfucker over here.
He's just like looking up at the sky, and he's got like the stars in his eyes.
Germans are magically stupid.
I don't believe it.
Oh man. So yeah, it was in fact Germany. After Sam's little meltdown. Yeah, but again, you never know with the segment. That's why it's called Germany or Florida. So, hey.
Or Japan.
Hey.
No, Japan's way weirder.
Oh, no.
Dude, that could be... If we ever run out of Germany or Florida, we could do Today in Japan, and then I'll just pull a random fucking story from Japan, and we'll talk about it.
It'd be like Japan, or am I just pulling this out of my ass?
Oh man!
That sounds good.
We could figure out if it's complete.
Yeah, Japan or bullshit. That's I like that. We'll do that. I'm gonna write that down actually.
So I got this little crazy story that happened to me when I was at work. Well, it wasn't like a super crazy story, but my buddy, anyways, I was at work was kind of slow, and he comes up with me. He comes up to me with his phone. He's like, "So I was watching this crazy Japanese show, and it was just like their own version of like WWE wrestling, right?" And I'm like, "What the?"
But the thing where the dude grabs the other dude's dick.
No, it's even better. So this is this guy that's fisting this girl.
What the fuck? This is on TV, WWE. What does this have to do with WWE?
Wait, where did wrestling come into this?
No, it's not a wrestling match. That was like the position.
That would be an amazingly bad wrestling show, and I might watch that.
So they're wrestling, and then he just. So they're wrestling. So they're wrestling, and then he just starts fisting her. I don't know. On live TV.
That's like the pin move or whatever he had on it. Anyways, so like he showed me this, and then like he like the crowd. You just what the fuck was that? Jesus. So anyway, so he's like fisting her, right? And then she starts releasing.
Oh, we just have to keep interrupting him so he goes back to the. Okay, so we like fisting her, right? Like I just want to hear that for the rest of the night. That's what I need to hear.
Shawn, please. Yeah. So.
God damn it!
It got to the point where she started like squirting and
no, you're fucking with me. You're fucking with me, right? You better be fucking with me.
It goes, and the crowd starts cheering as it's like squirting into the crowd. Oh my God. There's a crowd. There's an audience.
What the fuck?
And it's like the juices are like flying into the crowd, and they were like, "Yeah!" Like, oh my God! Get the pussy juice over here! $3. Like,
it's like a sprinkler. They like set her up, and she starts doing the sprinkler effect into the crowd.
And
Jesus.
And, like, I just remember like watching all that and realizing like, wow, I'm still at work right now. Like I just fucking saw that at work. I was like putting like pita into like the pita oven or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck do I do now?
Dude, put this on your sandwich.
Oh my God, man.
That's fucking funny.
I
had thought when you said he was like fisting her, I thought it was just like you were straight up kidding. I didn't expect it to turn into full porno. That's funny. Oh, man.
But it was like there's literally like the wrestling whatchamacallit, the wrestling ring and everything, and like he had her like pinned down.
That's funny as shit.
And just the best part was the crowd's reaction, to be honest with you. Like like please.
You had a legit wrestling crowd watching a fisting attack.
I was at my work, and I was half the people that I work with, the maintenance crew, they don't speak English, they all speak Spanish. So it was funny. I went up and I was putting away equipment, and one of the heavier set gentlemen, he's just completely Hispanic, doesn't speak English at all. He walks up to me and he had his phone in his hand. He's like putting it in my face, and on the screen it's just like a fully naked girl with like the hairiest bush I've ever seen in my fucking life, and he just looks at me and he smiles and walks away, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, excuse me. I'm like, we're like
a little extra lettuce on my taco.
What the fuck? Like, that like shit. This shit like threw me for a loop. He probably thinks I'm gay because I didn't react well to him showing me a naked girl or some shit like that. I'm calling it.
That's pretty funny.
With a wig on her bush.
All right.
No, dude, that game show and anything you see like that is actually porn.
Yeah, it's just really.
Mine from Japan, and he told me anytime you see something that looks like a crazy game show, but it's legit pornographic, like the fisting or the girls that have somebody walk up and finger them to see if he can guess which one's his girlfriend or any of that kind of shit. That's all just porn disguised as other stuff.
See, they get creative with their porn. We just had people having sex, but they have like full-on game shows.
Like sticking eels in asses. I don't want to call that creative ever.
Hey, it's new.
Eels in asses.
Bro, everyone's got a fetish for something, right? Some people like wieners on their girls. Some people like fists in asses.
Like fish in their girls.
Yeah, there you go. Some people like to watch their girls get fucked by other people. That's called a cuck, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fucking normal compared to like holding a girl down and force feeding fish into her vagina.
Yeah, that sounds rough. I don't want to be that girl because fish is scaly.
I don't want to be that fish. That poor thing.
I don't know. Every statement, I'd say that being the fish is probably the upside.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. Eel and ass seems like that'd be a rough job for the eel.
Mm.
What if you like sneezed or something? You like crush the eel with your asshole. All right, let's get on to our.
She had to go to the hospital.
All right, okay.
From what I heard, I read they had to take her to the hospital.
From what I heard,
I feel like that's
you had to add that
wrong.
from what I heard. Sean's like, I didn't watch it. Now this is from what I've heard. This is by word of.
In this new porno, we take a trip to the hospital.
Oh man! All right, let's move on to our Nintendo Direct announcements. What a weird segue that one was.
Wow.
We should just call this episode "The Land of Segue."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody rolls around on those little two-wheeled gay vehicles.
My principal had one of those from
Big-ass wheels.
in my high school. My principal had one of those. Remember that, Tyler?
Yep, I do. And she put like the biggest fucking like tractor tires in that. Damn
Yeah, they were
computer or
fucking
something.
huge.
my
She was
God.
always like a foot off the
She's going
ground.
around in the grass and like it was hilarious.
It's so ridiculous. Oh man.
Oh boy.
All right, so I'm gonna
It's
go.
like if two kids get into a fight and it's like, hold on there, it's like hold on, this one take.
Fucking full on mall
Bring it
cop
up.
her way over there. Yeah.
Walmart.
All right, so I'm gonna read through all these announcements real quick. What we've heard from Nintendo Direct. Then we'll talk about. Actually, I'll go over one at a time. We'll talk about them, and then we'll move on. So the first announcement that we have is they did announce that a Odyssey Switch bundle. They revealed that it includes the game, a pair of red Joy-Cons, Mario Odyssey themed Switch carrying case, and Nintendo also revealed the wedding themed Mario Odyssey amiibo as well as the bundle. It will be available on the same day the game launches. You know, like how I think Bowser's trying to marry Peach or something. Was that what it was? He's finally taking the step. My fan fictions are real. Bowser's marrying Peach. They're gonna have some naughty sex. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on. That's why he's wearing the white and he's got his own hat that looks like the top hat that's white. Yeah, that's what's going on.
That's not what's going on.
Sean's like, I refuse to
We all
accept
saw
that.
what happened in Rule 34 with that right there.
Yeah.
You all don't understand. That's not what's going on. It's
Okay. It's not going on.
happening.
All right.
Besides, the Rule 34 shit that Antony found with that Mario and Bowser.
Oh yeah, that was life changing.
No.
What episode was that?
So much no.
What episode was that? I don't even remember.
Fuck if I remember.
I think it was
All
like
I know is
5.
the next thing I know, I've
Probably
got
one of the
pictures
early
popping
ones.
up of Bowser and Mario making love eyes.
Yeah,
and-
that was 5 or 6.
oh god, dude, what? It's like no.
If you can handle the shitty
They're
audio,
industrial nuclear thermos as a dick.
if you can handle the shitty audio quality, there were some interesting moments we had in some of our earlier episodes. But you got to get through that shitty audio quality wall. Although we're not in any royalty where we sit now with our audio quality, but we're working on making it better. Yeah, I was looking into mics today, and I found a really, really, really good mic that needs to be like preamped and stuff, but it's like $300 on top of the equipment you need just to do stuff with it. So.
You do know that there's a difference between a standard mic and a condenser mic, right? Like,
yeah,
the mics that you don't.
No, I'd say it wasn't a
preamp,
condenser. It was a standard. It was a standard mic. It was called like
a standard mic with a preamp.
Yeah, it was called like an SMB something 7. I don't know. It was like a really good mic. It had really high ratings on it. Well, that we're not going to talk about technical stuff here. Yeah.
Later.
So that's that. What do you guys feel about Mario?
I am on the hype train for this game. I know a lot of people might are, but when I first saw footage of this game, I was so excited because Mario 64 was one of my favorite N64 games, and that game was so revolutionary when it brought Mario to 3D. And this one it feels like it has that essence almost. And I'm just so excited that there's a new Mario game. And I know it's the same formula, it's the same character, the same premise. But just the amount of stuff they put in there looks just so much fun. And it doesn't even... and it's not like it's not taking itself too seriously either. It's just a bunch of crazy stuff that happens. Him going on this grand odyssey. It just looks so awesome. Like, it looks like a fun game to play. You know, that's what Nintendo makes Nintendo great, is their gameplay, and what they deliver is, you know, when they make a Mario game, they really pull out all the stops and they put their best foot forward with it. So I'm all aboard for this game for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too.
So I admit I was legit going to poke fun at Sam's fangirling over Mario until I realized that him getting moist over the new Mario game is, you know, just a few small years ago, before Squaresoft stabbed me in the back too many times, is exactly how I sounded when they're like, we have a new Final Fantasy coming out, and the whole room would be covered in my jizz. It was just be an instant response. I'm like, ah! And everybody else is like, well, we don't know, it might suck. And then I would slap them and tell them to stop blaspheming, which I will now never do. But so now I would be the pot calling the kettle super black.
Yeah,
why's it got to be black?
I'm with Kyle. My favorite. There are no Mario games I do not like, but my favorite games are definitely the mainline series, not more so than the spinoffs. And I appreciate the exploration games the most, like 64 and Sunshine, more so than the level-based ones. I do not understand. I'm not as into the whole, like, we're not taking this one seriously. They never took any of them seriously, but I am not into the whole, like, abandoning. I mean, they've already fucked the Mario mythos once when Koopa went from having a bunch of kids to one, and he'd even had another different kid in Mario Party. I still want them to rectify that shit. That makes me angry. But that's just an OCD thing. I am not terribly fantastically overjoyed by the weird levels. I love the style. I know I'm going to love playing it. Don't get me wrong. But the cohesiveness of the game seems to be non-existent, and that itches a little bit.
It looks like it. Well, if you look at like other ones that had a hub and you move between areas, like 64, you move to some crazy looking areas through paintings.
Yeah, but none of them were made of birthday cake or dildos or whatever the fuck. Some of that shit.
But they had stuff like that in they had stuff like that in like 3D World and stuff though. Yeah. They have areas like that. So it's been part of the
not an exploration game though. 3D World was level based.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I am also excited for the game. I like that they're changing up because they always introduce something new with the Mario games. There's always something they stick to and that they hold out through most of the game. Like Galaxy, you had the whole everything was gravity related, and then you had Sunshine with the water based gameplay, and now we have everything revolving around the hat and possessing things.
Now we have Mario's nipples.
Oh yes, Mario is also naked.
He's not a plumber anymore.
What is he now?
Yep.
He used to be a plumber. His new bio is, at one point in time, a long time ago, he was a plumber. They quietly changed that shit because of the new game. Because they're doing a soft retcon on his history.
Yeah, they are. I actually heard about that.
Yeah, he's not a plumber anymore. He hasn't been a plumber for a long time. They're like, he's a sporty guy. He likes sports and tennis and hang gliding and public masturbation and also at one point in time, your grandparents might tell you he may have done some plumbing. Are you fucking kidding me? Because 2 weeks ago, the bio said he was a plumber on your fucking site. Like, what?
Well, I think with that, they're just trying to, because the whole plumber issue, I think not issue, but the whole plumber thing, I think just has died away. No one's really everyone knows him as a plumber, but he's never really done any plumbing except for the original Mario Brothers arcade game.
He's still a fucking plumber, damn it.
Sounds like you can't change my past.
He doesn't plumb because he's not on Earth anymore.
He's still a plumber to me, for sure.
Doing fucking fairy shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm excited for Mario's nipples, though. like Tyler showed.
Now,
Yeah, people are retarded. They're like, oh my god, he has nipples. Are you fucking serious?
He's a human being. He's gonna have nipples.
It's just because we've never seen them before, so now like we're making a deal.
It's a big thing, dude.
It's like the first time you see girls' nipples, and you're just like, whoa. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have the same reaction that the first time I saw girls' nipples. I think that was very different reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mario's a nice looking guy. You know what I'm saying? That mustache.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Mario's banging.
My only thing about this news is I hope they sell the red Joy-Con separately.
Oh, me too.
Separately.
I've been like somewhat collecting the Joy-Cons. I have the Splatoon ones, and I have the red and blue ones, and I have the gray ones.
Because this red Joy-Con, that's my favorite red. I like that.
You know what I want that they have not done yet? Put designs on the damn Joy-Cons. Even if they just had like a red Joy-Con with mushrooms on it, that'd be so badass.
Like skin.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't do that. They just have them in different colors. I'm sure they're eventually... Nintendo's all about fucking personalization of your stuff. That too. But they'll eventually do something. I just don't know why it's been so long for us to see that, which is weird.
Yeah.
I also saw someone had a cool thing that they had. I think it was on Pinterest or something, but someone had where they made it like the clear casing that they used to do with the old Game Boys.
Oh,
so their entire case,
64 controller.
Yeah, their entire case was like purple and clear plastic. It was so badass looking.
Awesome.
That's cool.
I still have a 64 controller like that.
Yeah,
like clear purple.
Yeah.
All right, so that's again Mario coming on the 27th of October. Super excited for that. Let's go on to our next.
Real quick question in terms of they're releasing a Mario version of the Switch. Okay, cool. How many people do you think will legit even have a chance to see it, much less buy it?
Not enough. Well, it all depends on what they do, but they don't have a good track record with this stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But it will be available on the same day the thing comes out. I haven't heard anything about pre-orders, so they'll just let it go to the market. So we'll see.
No one can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as we get closer to Christmas, they'll start churning out more of them, and we'll start seeing them more in stores. So we'll see what they do. Yeah. The second thing they talked about is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 finally has a release date coming to the Switch in the West on December 1st of this year. So it's weird to say, but I'm a little bit more excited for Xenoblade than I am for Mario because I know what I'm going to get from Mario, but I'm more excited to see what I will get from Xenoblade. But I'm super excited to see Xenoblade coming out. I saw the stuff. It's a just JRPG game. Excited to have something like that to play on the go. And the female character has big tits.
Yeah,
double thumbs up.
I have a comment about that reveal trailer. The voice actor.
Oh, stop! They're horrible. They're horrible. Let's just leave it at that. They better have a Japanese version of the voices. Like, if they can have it in Breath of the Wild, they can have it in Xenoblade.
So boring.
They're so bad. The main character sounds like fucking garbage. They pulled someone out of the streets, gave him a McDouble, and told him to speak into a mic for 15 minutes. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Dragging you on the back of that dude sounded like he was about to take a nap. Like he was just so out of it. It was just like,
oh god, that's the only problem I have that scares me. I will straight up play this game muted if I have to. I will play the game muted. I'm not listening to those voices if they don't have a Japanese version. But if Breath of the Wild can do it, I'm sure that they can do it with Xenoblade. I hope so.
Now, I'm happy they show the gameplay mechanics, how you're a driver and then your blades are, what you have, like your party members are your weapons and they're basically support.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. I like the whole aspect of avatars or people representing weapons. So I think that right there I thought was really cool. I'm probably not going to get this game when it releases just because I have too many other games on my plate, but I'll probably eventually pick it up, and play it.
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered, as well as Mario, but I don't have any around that time. There's nothing else I'm really, besides Ni no Kuni in January. I can't really think of much else that will be available. I'm not picking up Assassin's Creed. I don't care. I don't care about Far Cry. I just don't have anything else I'm looking forward to. I mean, the Destiny DLC will be coming out in December.
Yeah.
But besides
what
that,
they need to do, if they're smart, and they're not, But if they're fucking smart,
theoretically,
they gave a shit about cultivating an actual fucking fan base for their games to continue to sell shit. There's a lot of legit content on the Wii and the Wii U that people did not get to play, either because it was the end of the Wii's lifespan and a lot of these really good games just didn't disperse. They were super rare, like the original, like the Xenoblade game, or like fucking Pandora's Tower or Last Story. At least some of those I was lucky enough to play. And then the one on Wii U, which just dropped less than a year ago. And again, half the people didn't even know about it unless you were a fangirl. So if they had any brains, they'd fucking release that shit when they release the other one. Because people are going to want those stories. Because this game, all of the...
they're not...
The Blade...
They exist within the same universe, but they're not... The story isn't continuing. Like, if you play the first Xenoblade Chronicles, it has nothing to do with the second. It just exists within the same universe.
The world has to do with each other, though. Yeah. Because they all come out of... Because this is all in the same universe as Xenogears, and then those 3 or 2, they planned 4, but I think they only made 2 or 3 of them on the PlayStation 2, Saga. Yeah, and now you've got these games. And the worlds, while they make sense, make tremendously more sense if you played the other ones, because they all tie together.
Yeah.
And I think if they really, it doesn't make sense to jump consoles and not try and bring people with you, to me. I don't know. It seems like just giving up on money.
I'm still waiting to see what they do, how in-depth the virtual store will be. And we'll see what happens then. But I want to see what they do with that first, because they've been holding out on us for a while. So I think I'm hoping it's in depth because they've been holding out on it. I want to see what they do with it, because they had a version of it on the Wii U. So I don't know how they're going to transfer all that to Switch, see what they do with it, what they'll be adding, what they'll be removing. I know a lot of the games, the older games, will have multiplayer components to them as well. So I want to see what they do first with that store, and then we'll see more about that coming later. Because yes, there was a lot of shit, even stuff that released in Japan that never made it to the States. That was a lot of good content too that we missed out on just because they never took the attempt to localize it. Which is why one of the reasons I'm so excited that they added a way to buy games through PayPal from the Japanese store. Okay, moving on, because we're got a lot to talk about still. We have Skyrim coming to the Switch on November 17th.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yay, portable Skyrim. Cool. I've played it like 7 times already. After that, we have 2 more Bethesda games are now coming to the Switch. We have Doom and Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Now, this is something, I'm going to talk about this real quick. I've spoken with people about this. This is interesting. Now, these games will be running on something called Vulkan, which is a API like DirectX that is new, that will allow basically, so when an API is working on processing a game, it runs with a certain interval. There's a 32, I don't know.
Why don't you tell our audience what an API is first?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Is it a game engine?
Not a game engine. It's I need to sit here and think about this.
Did you say it's a way of packaging?
Yeah, it's computing. So it helps when it's basically when your system is processing something. It's how the information is being moved around. Stuff like compute kernels, vector processing, all this shit is how the game programs and the code of the game is transferred into a visual medium, and how that spread of information moves around. So there are multiple APIs that are designed to do graphics. There's like OpenGL, DirectX, other stuff like that. And on top of that, we now have this new one called Vulkan. Let me actually give you a little bit of an explanation. Let me see if I could find it on Wikipedia real quick. Okay. Vulkan is a low overhead, cross-platform 3D graphics and compute API. Vulkan targets high-performance real-time 3D graphic applications such as video games and interactive media across all platforms. Compared with OpenGL and Direct3D 11, Vulkan is intended to offer higher performance and more balanced CPU/GPU usage. So basically, it allows the game that you're playing, it allows the processing that is going on, the information being moved around by the code. It allows that to be processed in a way where it does not have as much of a wear down on the GPU of the system you're using. So I don't want to go too deep into it, especially since I'm sitting on the Wikipedia and it's a lot of terminology. But it's basically, in layman's terms, it's going to allow the Switch to play games at a higher frame rate without being bogged down too hard by the information being displayed. It allows the GPU of the Switch to basically operate at a higher level, even though it's a lower GPU. It's not as strong as something you'd...
I'm sorry, I'm just curious how that's going to affect the battery, because the more intense the graphics, the harder the system's got to work.
Yeah,
and the harder it works, the more power it uses.
Well, the thing about it is with Vulkan,
increase the efficiency.
Yeah, because technically Vulkan, on top of, it's not putting as much strain on the CPU, which is like you're saying, if the CPU is not working as hard or the GPU is not working as hard, then the battery lasts longer. That's why if you're playing a game that's like a 2D side scroller and not Breath of the Wild, the system doesn't heat up as much. You're not processing as much information. The battery will last longer. The Switch's battery can last long if you're not doing something that's Breath of the Wild or something that's intensive on the Switch. So yes, in that way, Vulkan would allow the Switch to last longer. Now, in this case, with Doom and Wolfenstein 2, will be running on Vulkan on the Switch. This will allow the Switch to perform at a higher level than it would normally in a DirectX setting with an API.
Yeah.
So I think the main reason that Vulkan is so good is there's something that goes on. I'm not an engineer when it comes to this shit. But there's something that there's actions performed. There's so many actions that can be performed within a certain amount of frames, depending on your API. With DirectX, it's like 32 actions within a certain amount of time, but Vulkan is basically dropping the actions down so that the CPU that's going through is not performing as many actions. Something like that. I don't fucking know. It's making it easier for the Switch to run it. I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with tech and read all this bullshit.
No, we completely understand, and I think what it is just it's going to allow, like you said, a higher fidelity graphical game you play on a Switch that would give it optimization for not only frame rate and battery usage, but overall good experience, which I think is amazing that they're using this technology to allow third-party games, these big games that are coming out, that are, like in Doom's case already came out, able to play on this console, which then gives the Switch more credibility and legitimacy as a console, so that these other developers are like, hey, if you can run that on there, then hey, you can run our game on here, which allows more third-party support, which is what Nintendo needs in order to buffer their other first-party games. That way, Nintendo's not seen as that little brother. It's seen as like, oh, this is a competitor. This is someone, we got to, be looking at, paying attention to. So I think that's a great, news.
Okay.
This isn't the kind of thing that's going to give them that kind of edge.
Well, here, real quick, I found something now, just real quick. So this it reduces driver overhead, which will reduce CPU workloads. And by reducing the load on the CPU through the use of batching, it allows the CPU to be free to do more computation or rendering than normally otherwise in a DirectX setup or OpenGL setup. It has a better scaling on a multi-core CPU, which the Switch doesn't have, so that's not something we need to talk about. But it's allowing more of a balance between GPU and CPU rendering, because you can render with the CPU. Now, again, a lot of the times the GPU is doing most of the work while the CPU runs other commands throughout your system. But if you're balancing that and you have the GPU working solely on getting your main operations completed, while the CPU is basically more of a support system to it. It allows, with that balance, you're not overloading one thing, which of course doesn't bog down the battery. And on top of that, it makes it where you get better performance out of your system, practically.
I'll make it easy on you, Kyle. It's just it's a way of packaging processes so that things function more efficiently and increasing performance.
Just like if you guys were to take a really
increased performance, like upgraded hardware, it's gonna slightly smoother, slightly better, give it a little bit more capability, but it's not. It's not, and I appreciate your enthusiasm, Sam. It's not going to bump the system up in terms of competitiveness. It's
hell no! It's allowing
have it a better experience.
Yeah, it's allowing for more
polish.
A better third-party support, because a lot of games they're made for multiple consoles, and instead of having to dumb down all the graphics for the Switch, it's not as big of a drop because they're working on a different set. And on top of that, like
I wonder. You couldn't patch.
You can patch it. You can.
Of it, though. You can't.
No, you can. You can patch API.
Oh, good.
So they could.
Games they
if they,
need to do
the
that.
thing is. On top of that, they're also talking about the fact that as the games get larger, it's almost at the point where you would need a SD card on top of the game card in order to just play the game, because the games are getting so large.
Yeah, it's getting large.
So just crazy stuff.
Okay, so I see what you're saying, but what I was saying is like it's just cool that we're gonna be able to play these games on the Switch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's just amazing.
Now I'm hoping with Vulkan it will allow Doom and Wolfenstein to be running at, even if the graphics are bogged down, at least 60. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Now, again, they have a lot of the games on the Switch do run at 60, but again, they're Nintendo games. They have a certain style to their graphics. There's not as many polygons going on in models because a lot of things are smooth. The environments are not as detailed, although they are detailed, but they're not in the way that you'd see in like GTA or something like that.
Right.
There's a lot larger structures when it comes to the way they develop their environment, and everything's smoother. So they're not working with as many, just as much information on the screen. Now, in Breath of the Wild, it's different because they've gone for a more realistic look. It's still not. It's still not as crazy as you'd think. But the only thing I'm wondering is, with this docked, will the Switch still maintain its performance?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that, you know, a lot of games play way better in handheld mode than they do
because when it's docked, it's forcing a higher resolution so it doesn't look like shit on your TV.
Yeah.
But in that reason, it also drops the frame rate in certain areas because you're forcing a higher resolution of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I'm excited. I want this to work for Nintendo, because I want more third-party support, so I have more things I could do on the go. I probably won't be picking up either of these games just because I have better ways of playing them. I'm definitely picking up Wolfenstein 2 for the PC. Again, after I played the initial Wolfensteins, I'm super excited to see what they continue with that series. But yeah, so that's that. Again, if you want to search it up, Vulkan API, that's all you have to search up. It's new. They were testing. I saw a graph that on the wiki that I was looking at where they were testing basically a 1080 with Vulkan, which is a GPU from NVIDIA. As a 1080, they were testing on Doom, like the 2016 Doom. They were testing on a 1080 with Vulkan, and it was pulling like 193 frames. Where on GTX, it was pulling only like 120 to 130, which is a substantial difference you can see when it comes. The thing is, with the Switch being its thing and not as competitive that when it comes to like the PlayStation and stuff like that, how much of a Jesus, choked on my own spit. Really sorry about that.
Kyle. Don't die on me.
How much of a difference will that really make when it gets down to the nitty gritty? Again, Doom's not really, it's a pretty game, but you're not, besides the fact that there's a lot going on the screen, there's not big worlds that we're loading. It's mostly small arenas and levels that you're playing through. It's a very linear game. Sure. So I'm excited to see what they do. I'm really interested about this Vulkan thing. They're also planning on putting it into like other systems. Like I think it might already be in Star Citizen as their API to make the game run better and stuff like that. So that's definitely exciting. Again, if you guys want more information on that Vulkan API, if you know more about that, let us know in the comments. Again, we're not no engineers. We ain't no engineers. So let us know.
I know nothing about no engineering.
Yeah. Boy, I put a corn on the cob on a pitchfork and call that a candle. I'm sorry. That was insensitive.
No, stop. What? What?
All right. So moving on to the next announcement. We have Kirby's will be getting a new game on the Switch called Kirby Star Allies, and the 3DS Kirby game or Kirby Battle Royale will be the release date was announced as January 19th, 2018. So we are getting a Kirby game for the Switch. That's exciting.
Please don't be a cannot. Please be an actual fucking platformer instead of pinball or racing.
Well, they had what's it called? Robo Planet was really good on the 3DS. I enjoyed that a lot.
Dude, this game, Star Allies, did any of y'all play Kirby 64?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This looks just like it because you get to combine powers and
I'm so excited.
A multiplayer aspect. Which
is this the one where you could like take control of an enemy with like a Joy-Con and you could play with someone else and they'll take a Joy-Con?
You throw a heart, I think, once you beat the enemy up, and you can make them your helper, which is from Kirby Superstar.
Yeah,
and then you can have up to 3 other players, I think, play with you.
That's fucking cool.
And what's cool is that you can do all these awesome like combo moves. Like you can actually create different elements to make new power ups, but you can also do ultimate moves depending on who your partner is. Which is it looks beautiful too. Like it's nothing like Yoshi's Woolly World or that Canvas Curse, whatever thing Kirby had. This looks like a nice, 3D model graphics. It looks awesome. I'm so excited that they're coming out with this Kirby game.
Sounds cool. All right. On top of that, we have Nintendo has announced a Pokemon-themed new Nintendo 2DS XL. The red and white 2DS XL resembles a Pokeball, and it will be releasing in November 3rd. Again, they're all about their personalizing of their systems.
I already traded in my original Pokemon XL edition for the new 3DS. I don't think I need to upgrade to another one.
I think I might eventually pick up a 2DS because I sold my 3DS when I got the Switch, but I don't know what I'll be getting it for. There has to be something that will make me get the 2DS.
Well, I mean, they're still supporting it, which brings up a good point. Is that I don't. I was hearing.
Actually, never mind. Persona Q2 is only coming to 3DS/2DS. I definitely need to pick one up now.
There you go.
Fuck. I didn't think about that.
It's funny how Nintendo's still supporting this handheld because I'm still baffled they are, but I guess because it's still selling well.
It's because it's also on top of the fact that they think that their Switch is a home console. Now, that's heavy quotations because they marketed it around it being a mobile thing, but they're trying to keep it where the 2DS/3DS is your mobile console and the Switch is your home console that just happens to be able to be picked up and taken around.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do it. And it's dumb because if you look at the Switch as a whole, it looks like it was designed to be taken out to places and used out there, and the dock was just something they did last second so that you could play it on the TV. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they're limiting games to just the 3DS. I'd rather see maybe if they just split it, because there's still a lot of people that have a 3DS that didn't get a Switch because the Switch is hard to acquire. So maybe do that where they split the games, where at least the 3DS games are also coming to the Switch. But I don't like the fact that because I supported Nintendo, I'm being taken out of other things because it bugs me.
The game we're going to get
you
to
understand my rage over the Wii U.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still angry at Nintendo, and fuck them and the horrors they wrote out.
We're going to keep going. Because we still got to talk about Destiny 2. So we have, on top of that, the next thing is Square Enix gave more details on their upcoming exclusive Nintendo Switch RPG, Project Octopath Traveler. Yes. There is a demo for the game available on the eShop currently, so if you want to test it out, Square Enix, Sam, I was talking to Sam about it before we started the podcast, said the music's good. Square Enix always does a good job with their music. Yeah. They always got kicking soundtracks. I'm super excited.
What's it called?
Project Octopath Traveler.
It said working title in the direct, so it's not the official title. It's probably going to have some Octo or 8 thing sprinkled in there, but beautiful game, just amazing. They've marketed the graphics as 2D HD. It's pretty much 16-bit sprites in a 3-dimensional world.
Well, that sounds cool.
there's a few games that come to mind, like 3D Dot Heroes.
I need to download it. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah,
I
it's
did not
really
like
great.
3D Dot Hero. I thought I would. I was really excited. Then I bought it, and it's a fucking hard as shit Gauntlet knockoff.
But it's kind of has that, but it's very beautiful. Way they've done it, they have a lot of really cool effects.
Now, is it like a turn-based JRPG kind of thing?
It is turn-based. It's definitely it's definitely that traditional style. The combat system.
Shawn's all about that turn-based.
The combat is turn-based. What is cool is that, and I won't just stay on this long. You can watch the director, the trailer to get more. The combat.
Fuck that! Cool. Take the whole time. Go ahead and talk about it.
No, we don't have time for
that. No, what's cool is that basically the synopsis. The full game will have 8 characters. Each of them will have an ability they can use in the world. The 2 that are in the demo are the warrior Ulbrich, and the other one I can't remember her name. It's called the
dancer.
The dancer. The warrior can challenge people to a duel. Say like if he's trying to get somewhere or he wants to get information out of somebody, he can challenge them and fight them. If he beats them, he can get a reward.
That's pretty cool.
The dancer can allure. She can basically pretty much it's a nice word for seduce. She can seduce people to follow her. Say there's someone missing.
I know what character I'm playing.
she can go out and find someone who's lost, bring them back. And anybody she's allured, she can actually bring into battle to aid her, as in like an assist or as another party member. But
okay,
yeah,
so wait, hold on, Sam. Let me get this straight. Either you bully people into submission, or you fuck them to help you. This is basically where this is going.
Yeah.
If you want to break into layman's terms, sure. but
someone's very to a dark place right there.
But I'm really excited for this. I haven't been excited for a JRPG in a long time. But the music is fantastic. I need to look up who the composer is because it sounds familiar. But I am really. This is going to be. I hope this is one of the games that draw people to like want to buy the Switch because it's very unique, and I can just see this being maybe not a.
When does this come out?
Seller. It's supposed to come out next year, 2018. It didn't say early or late. It's probably going to be like probably a summer release, maybe. I don't know, but anyway, I'm really excited. If you have a Switch, download this today. Like
I'm gonna do it right after this podcast.
Yeah, download it today. Play it. It's really fun. The voice acting is not cringy. It's actually pretty decent.
Do they have a Japanese version?
I don't know. They didn't say. I have not tinkered with the subtitles or the audio, so I don't know.
My first thing I check.
But maybe. So anyway, but that's all I want to say about the game. I'm really excited.
Sounds cool. So next we have Mario Party is making a novel return.
Screw this game. I hate it.
Oh my god. Is making a novel return by the way of Mario Party the Top 100 for 3DS, focusing on the mini games from past Mario Parties. The game has the top 100. True to its name. So So basically, it is Mario Party without the board element, and you just play the top 100 mini games, which is interesting because it's all of the mini games from all the Mario Parties. Well, the top 100 of them. I don't have a 3DS.
But here's the problem: it's on a freaking 3DS.
It'd be cool to see on a Switch because they're remastering the mini games from older versions, right?
This is one of the things I want from Nintendo. I want a new Mario Party game that plays like the old, like Mario Party 1,
Mario
2,
Party
3.
10
Yeah, they don't play like the same, right? They're completely different.
Well, the most recent one was different.
My mind is being blown that this is not coming to Switch. Like, I love my 3DS, but this is not the place for Mario Party. Like, I only know like one person who has a 3DS, and no one else has it.
Yeah, and the Switch, it's all about playing with other people, like taking off the Joy-Con,
and also too.
Go home, Nintendo. You're drunk.
This is one of the games I would actually probably play if it were to come. I would play at home because I have my sister and brother-in-law love Mario Party. We play Mario Party whenever we can, and we love it. And I would love to play this with them on my Switch, in the dock, on the screen.
Yeah,
in my home. This is one of the games I want. But for some reason, like I said, they have to keep supporting 3DS, I love it, but why is this game not coming to Switch? Is my question. It just baffles me.
Yeah,
that it's not coming to Switch.
Because Nintendo are dumb.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
All right, moving on to the next one. We have Minecraft continues its march towards total domination, and it will now be available on the 3DS for the first time. Who fucking cares? Nintendo also revealed the first MOBA on the Switch, Tencent's Arena of Valor. The game previously launched on mobile and has 35 heroes and a slew of different modes. The free beta is coming to Switch as well, but no firm date was announced.
Which is weird. Battleborn to the Switch.
Battleborn a
the
MOBA?
The game was fucking fantastic, and they fuck you.
Was Battleborn a MOBA?
Blizzard.
It wasn't a
yeah,
MOBA.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a MOBA.
You know it's a MOBA.
It was like it was
a
gonna
really
be
good one.
It was. Oh, I remember. They had like the dumbed down. Yeah, I guess. I think because when I think MOBA, I think like League of Legends, and that's like really in depth.
Well, this was more arcade style.
Well, this one
was for fun.
It was a more arena shooter. Like it was gonna be like Overwatch.
Yeah, and it just had MOBA
like
elements. Well, it you buy stuff and you get stronger as you're in a first person shooter arena. So it had MOBA elements, but when I think MOBA, I think like Dota or League of Legends or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the Nintendo Direct stuff. Definitely exciting stuff. Got some cool things to look forward to in the future. Where's my fucking virtual market, Nintendo?
I have a theory about that, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay. But yeah, that's all I'm really caring about. I'm hoping
more games third party for the Switch.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're working on it. We'll see how this.
Thing, like Bethesda doing it now, it's like they're like other third parties don't have an excuse not to put their games on the Switch now.
Yeah, I want to see what they do. It all depends because we know from past experiences that Nintendo can be difficult to develop for. Because they're just controlling assholes when it comes to things. So it might just be, especially with the past and the Wii U and stuff like that, people might just not want to deal with Nintendo. So especially if they could just go make it for the PS4 with all the units that the PS4 has out in people's hands, we could do a console, leave out the Switch, not have to deal with Nintendo's bullshit, and do just fine. There's nothing being like, oh, we have to be on the Switch, or else we're not going to do well. So people just might not want to deal with Nintendo's bullshit, because Nintendo is the Disney of video games because they're controlling when it comes to things. Maybe not as bad as Disney, but they're pretty bad when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
I think they're about as bad as it. I think that's a fairly safe and commonplace comparison.
Okay. Well, with all that out of the way, we're going to move on to, well, this is technically our main topic was 2 parts, but we're going to be talking about our thoughts on Destiny 2, what we like, what we don't like. I'm going to be going over, we've all played except Tyler.
I've been playing it this whole time.
I'm an uncultured swine. I don't know. I just haven't had the time to really go and get it.
Hey, nobody puts baby in the corner. I love you, boo.
There you go.
Thanks, Shawn.
Just like curdle him, give him your tit, suck on. So,
all right, so
did you just say curl him?
Curdle.
Like in weightlifting? Just like
right.
pick his ass up and fuck.
Oh, come on, pump me.
I must pump you up.
Come on.
I'm hard. This is Franz. We have to pop.
All I hear is noise.
It's not the tumor, it's my bicep.
I like how it gets quiet just for you to say that.
So, all right, so since I'm the only one that doesn't have it, I'll start off with my thoughts on it, because I think we talked about...
It has nothing to do with it. I'm going to share some thoughts. I really like the giraffes. I'm not big on the frosting levels, but my favorite part is the dating mini games.
Yeah.
Like that's really where I
and fuck the water temples.
The fart jokes, though. I'm not really, but yeah.
Especially those. No, I'm just gonna kind of go off from what I played in Destiny 1, and then because I stopped playing it when everyone.
What?
I'm sorry.
That's what I want to say.
As soon as you mentioned going off of Destiny 1 to compare to Destiny 2 is when I started laughing, and you'll understand when you play it.
But the thing is, yes. So what I'm hearing, and like I've seen a few comparison, and like apparently that they have corrected their issues with the story. They deliver a fuller, more engulfed environment. It actually, like, it kind of like they made this promise, Destiny 1, and like everyone like was a huge, amazing game, next gen, the game of the generation. That's what it was called. And it came out, and everyone's like, "Well, what the fuck is this?" So, is Destiny 2 maybe, not? It might not be the game of the generation, but is it like what the first Destiny should have been? What people expected.
Yeah,
let's go. We're gonna go down.
So far, there's no DLC out and everything like that, but just from things that they fixed. Things that little ticks that fans were annoyed with, like a lot of PvP bullshit. I remember a lot of that. I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the game, but I don't know. I dropped off the face of the earth and just didn't really fucking care for it. Like I just like whatever. Like I just stopped liking it one day. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Something just was a turn off for me. I don't know what it was.
No, maybe... I feel you, because year one Destiny was a fucking mess. Like it was not.
I stopped. I didn't play Taken King.
You stopped when you stopped playing when they made the game good. Is pretty much what happened. Now, the thing I want to start all of this conversation with before we all give our opinions is the fact that if you're going into Destiny 2 not expecting Destiny, like what Destiny is, obviously that's a stupid thing to do. Don't fall to the hype. If you did not like the end, like the last year of what Destiny 1 was, grind, loot-based shooter where you play with friends and do stuff like that, you won't like Destiny 2. I'm not going to say you're going to enjoy Destiny 2 because they've changed, even though they've changed some things, because in its essence, Destiny has not changed. I don't think what they had in the last year of Destiny, I don't think there was, with at least the system, the way the game progressed, there wasn't anything immensely wrong with it. So if it's not broken, they're not going to change it. So as they moved that into Destiny 2, although they made a lot of quality of life improvements that made the game more enjoyable to play, don't go into Destiny 2 and pick it up expecting it not to be a loot-based shooter where you grind and do things and there's a repetitive nature to it and all that stuff. That all still exists in the game. You're not going to escape from that. You can't remove that because that's what Destiny's nature is as the game it's just grown into. That's all I wanted to say to start that off, because we all like the game, and if you don't fall to any hype, if you're listening to us just gush about how good it is still intrinsically Destiny. It's what it is. It's a loot-based shooter. So if that is not appealing to you, don't go and pick up Destiny 2 thinking that you'll enjoy it, because that is technically what the game still is. That's all I wanted to say. So who wants to go first with their opinions on what's changed, what we have new to Destiny, the what they've done to make the game more enjoyable?
I think I like to sort of start it because I only dabbled in Destiny 1 a little bit from playing on my cousin's PS4. I never got it for PS3 because I heard it was a trash version. I didn't have a PS4 at the time, so I didn't really get into it. When Taken King came out, it kind of intrigued me. I was like, should I get into it or not? Then I heard rumors about 2, and I was like, maybe I should just wait for 2. Having played it now, I can definitely see why people love it so much and why I just wish I had played the first one. I'm learning a lot of stuff. Again, it's a great game. I love the aspects of all of it. I love the classes. Like I said, I can't really say much how much it's changed, but I can definitely feel like this feels like a more rounded experience, especially with the story. And I bet it's not like super long, but it definitely feels more, from what I've heard from people, it feels a lot better than the last one. There's more of a story, there's more of a lore, you know what's going on. There's not all this bullcrap of having to read on a website about the lore. You can actually learn what's going on through cutscenes, through missions. But overall, it's amazing. It's great. It's such a social game, and that's so cool about it. I just love being able to play with friends and random people I think that's what draws Destiny to so many people. Is it's a social game. Like you can just enjoy it with people, and there is solo aspects to it, which is fine. But overall, I'm just amazed by it, and I just can't wait to see what comes out next for it.
What about you, Shawn? You want to go next? Talk about it.
I don't agree with your assessment of this being. The only thing I will say, because your wording originally, I don't agree with it at all. But what I'll say
what are we talking about?
Was you said you said it's
me.
It's still essentially the same game.
Pop a cap in your ass.
I did not like the first game. I enjoyed it strictly because of the social elements. There was only bits and pieces I liked. I liked Cade's character. I found tremendous value in his character. I liked Eris. I liked the few bits of story you could fucking get. But it was gray, it was bland, it was monotonous, and it was lifeless. And I did not get the only personal enjoyment I got out of it when playing by myself was that I was preparing for us to do something cool together. It was just a tool of friendship for me. I did not relish that game. I did not have loads of fun with it by myself. If it wasn't for my crew that I play with, namely you, Hector, Drew, and some of the guys that don't play anymore, it had very little value to me. It was not great at all by any means. However, Destiny 2 is everything that the first one should have been. It has a great story. You can do the entire fucking game single player, virtually the whole thing single player, and get a great single player experience out of it. It's got a fun ass story. It's not going to make as much sense to you if you haven't done it before, but they have broken reality just a little bit so that new players get some of the backstory, like the ghost magically realizing things that you figured out during vanilla Destiny. So I think it's massively a different game. I think that, yes, the loot-based first-person shooter parts are there. I think the mechanics are there, and I definitely don't think it's perfect. I think rather than advancing the character builds and advancing what you can do with the characters, they've dumbed it down more, which I find to be absurd and ridiculous, and that makes me greatly angry. But outside of that, I think it's just overhauled in every way. Graphically speaking, you've got color now. You don't have bland, lifeless environments. I think there's definitely some work to do to still give them some variety, but I understand the memory limitations that they deal with. But overall, I think it's massively improved. I don't think the social part, for me, sells it nearly as much as the overall value of the gameplay. The weapons are balanced better. The exotics, they don't have game-breaking perks anymore. Now I've been playing around with a lot of weapon combinations, ones that other people don't find too interesting, and I'm finding interesting little hidden abilities. I don't know, man. I think it's it's well-rounded. The other one never was. It's a well-rounded game. It's a good game if you enjoy first-person shooters, and if you like playing games with your friends, and you don't mind dealing with a lot of bullet sponges and quests and things like that. I think it's super fun, and I think you'll absolutely get your $60 out of it by the time the credits roll.
What I was trying to say with my initial thing is that the game, I said intrinsically, like in its most basic form, it's a loot-based first-person shooter, and that doesn't appeal to everybody. What I was trying to say is that, although again, there's been a lot of quality of life improvements. We'll talk about them. There has been a lot of changes. They've made it where you're more immersed because you're not hopping in between like instances a lot of the time. But I'm saying that still there's a grind. People don't enjoy grind. There's a lot of repetition. No, I'm saying, but all I was saying is that what I was with the initial statement is all that if you didn't like Destiny 1, now I'm talking about the end of Destiny, because if you didn't like initial Destiny itself as a thing has been an evolving machine since it started. So if you look at vanilla Destiny to what Destiny 2 is, there is huge fucking changes. The game is a completely different beast entirely. What I'm saying is from the end of Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, the stature is technically the same. Now the game looks prettier.
I don't know, man. I still feel it's very different. I don't think that unlike you, who felt that Destiny redeemed itself with Wrath of the Machine and Oryx, I think the raids were fantastic. I think the game was not made any better because it had fantastic raids. I think that was just at least a little bit of a bonus to say, hey, thanks for not dumping us. But I don't think it saved the game. I don't by any means think that made Destiny good. I think that you and the people we played with made Destiny good, but I don't think the raids made it worth the money. Whereas this, even without the raid, even without the strikes, I think this game stand on its own, and I don't think Destiny ever could stand on its own. But no, I acknowledge what you were saying. It's just when you first saying it, the wording came off much stronger, and you're like, this is still basically the same game. And I don't feel that this is basically the same game at all. Skeletally speaking, sure.
That's what I was saying. That's all I was trying to
bones,
put out
muscle,
to you.
The way it behaves is very different. Because I didn't like Destiny, and I really genuinely like this. Even how they fucked up the character system and took away your choice. They simplified it. Like Tyler keeps saying, oh, it's for casuals. I'm like, I don't think that. I just think that they think players are stupid. Because, I mean, the character leveling and you know how you could switch your modules around and change from, you could pick and choose what grenade you were using mixed with what alt power you were using. And there was no limit. You could just sit there and pick various different combinations of things. You have no opportunity to do that now. It's one preset or another preset. That's all you get. And that is garbage. Absolute garbage.
I don't think Bungie thinks people are stupid. I think it was an attempt to make the game more, I don't want to say casual, but just more available. Because a lot of what the initial Destiny was, they didn't sit there and explain things to you. And I'm not saying they do that in 2 now. But they're making it more where everything is a linear progression where you understand that you're moving towards this one goal, you're doing that's completed, and now you know exactly what that is. They explain a lot more. I like all the stuff they did with expanding the world in Destiny 2. They added lore to weapons so you kind of can read up on what this weapon's history is. I like that, so they have like little flavor text pitter-pattered around. I like that, again, the fact that you're not moving in between orbit or not. In the first Destiny, for those that do not know, when you were to complete something, you were pushed back into orbit, you'd pick something again, and you'd hop back down into a thing to do something. And then when that was done, you go back into orbit. With this, a lot of times, unless it's like a strike, you're staying within the world. It keeps that immersion because you're not, if you're on Earth, and you finish a mission and you pop back up into space, but you're like, wait, I got to go back down to Earth. You have to fly back down to Earth and you're in another loading screen. Whereas this, there's more of a focus on an open area that you kind of explore. You can see that they're kind of go for a pseudo open world aspect. And these areas that they have, the planets that we have, the new ones, are quite large. Titan, not so much, but they're big areas that you can run around and once that initial exploration is done, you're kind of just going from point A to point B, which is another one of the things I was trying to say is that a lot of the time with Destiny, you're making your way to the end game. Now you're enjoying yourself as you're going along, but a lot of what there is to do is in that end game. It's kind of like an MMO where you're not going to sit there and play through the entire story of an MMO with one other person, because you're trying to progress to the point where you unlock the more fun stuff, which is kind of what happens in Destiny. Again, the story is not bad in any way, shape, or form. I enjoy it quite a bit. I like the enemies that are revealed to you. I like the raid and the way that looks. I think that's super cool. But you ran through the story, you enjoyed it, you did it, and it's done. We're not heading back to that. There's no reason to, because now we're moving on to the things that you do more with people, because like, we never sat there and waited for each other to play the story because we didn't have any reason to. We're all pushing on that race to get the highest power level, move on into the more fun activities like the raid, the nightfall, stuff like that, the more challenging stuff. Because Destiny 2 is in no way. I played through the entire story pretty much by myself. I had no challenging moments. This challenge started to reveal itself in the nightfall, which is like a timed mission that's incredibly difficult. On top of that, the raids, which are mechanically based, like super long campaigns effectively where you're on this outing that could take anywhere between 4 to 12 hours depending on how good your team is. But I like that. I enjoy the game quite a bit. Again, I can understand why people will say that Destiny 1 was a beta for Destiny 2. It's been it's been an evolving machine. It's something that's been changing over the years. I don't agree with the Destiny 1.5 because I feel all the changes that they presented in Destiny 2 warrant it being a sequel. It is a full-blown sequel. I don't care what you say. There are enough changes in this game to warrant it not being called a DLC because they have made revamps to almost everything in the game in the fact of a lot the stuff. Now, again, as I said previously, it's still a loot-based shooter.
I can understand how they would say it if they haven't played it, though.
Definitely. Because
when we saw the trailers,
if you look at the game like gameplay now to gameplay prior, you're still shooting things, you're still collecting gear. So people they say it's the same thing, especially if you haven't played the first one or you haven't been following the series of games, because again, they're not going to change what isn't broken. The shooting in the game is incredibly well done. Everything about it feels smooth. It works well. The gunplay's fantastic. The abilities are good. Everything has weight to it. There's a punch to a lot of the guns. I like the fact that almost everything in the game has its own sound bite to it. If you hear someone pull out their hammers for the Titan, you know the moment you hear that noise that holy shit, there's hammers. If someone does Arc Strider, you know that that's Arc Strider. It's not, you don't confuse it with someone throwing a grenade or something else. If you hear a specific exotic gun, now this doesn't really account to the other guns because they're more of just like, kind of placeholders until you get to the higher level. So a lot of them are kind of like repeats of each other because they're like randomly rolled loot. But like the exotic weapons and some of the legendary weapons later in game that you acquire, you can tell if you hear that gun being fired, you know exactly what that is. Yep. I love the personality to the weapons. There's a lot of customization to everything that you do in this game. And it's nice because you feel that you are growing this person and you feel that you have a lot of control over what they do, what they sound like, or no, not what they sound like, but you know what I'm saying. What they are.
I feel like they took our control away for the characters. That's one area where I feel this game took a backward step big time.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
The fact that we still have glorified load screens, that's still annoying. Give us something to do with the planes, you know? I mean, at the very least, look at Warframe lets you fucking float around for a minute.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I really wish they had let you travel or take the ship between. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess, that, again, we had a discussion about how difficult it is to blend gaming engines together. That's one of the reasons why Star Citizen has taken so long. Putting a first-person shooter engine into a ship piloting engine is excruciatingly difficult to the point of being almost impossible. Yeah, it takes so much tech, and I think with Destiny, I mean, it being only a first-person shooter, there's only so much they can do. Right. But that shit they pulled with the characters, like, I don't care if they're trying to make it more approachable. It was paper thin in the first game. It doesn't exist now. It's A or B and a few other tiny little choices, and that's all you've got. Yeah. And that's pathetic. That is my only heavy complaint with this game, and that is absolute bullshit, and they have no excuses. Other than that, gush gush, happy happy fangirl.
Yeah. I'd say they kind of alleviate some of the removal of that with the mod system, because they do have some decent mods that you can acquire for your gear that will give you some pretty decent effects on top of grenade respawn time, stuff like that. And they also have the intrinsic perks that sit on weapons on top of exotics as well. Now, this is all stuff besides... Go ahead.
Well, I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I've been trying not to, but I'll see your response to that with they've countered it with mods. With now we're relying entirely on RNG to customize our characters, which is bullshit.
But again,
it was a growth tree, an MMO style growth tree that we had before, where you could go back and forth, select different skills you've earned, and create whatever customized build you wanted, and then bring that even deeper by mix with what types of armor and weapons you had and what abilities those armors and weapons had. That doesn't exist now. Now it is a watered down system, and no matter how you slice it, even with the mods, it's a nice touch, but it makes so much less difference when you do it at the sacrifice of your character tree. That's just fucking garbage.
No, I understand what you're saying, and the only thing I have that we've talked about it before with your character tree is the fact that you did say it was paper thin before, and we've effectively, because before you'd have your thing, but it only allowed for you to have about, like right now we have 2 presets. You're stuck to that growth besides your jump, your grenade, and your O ability, your class ability that you have now. But previously with those, you get like the 30 bubbles that you could fill in with that. Although again, it is almost indistinguishable because when you do those bullets that you fill out, it gives you like the illusion of, and I understand what you're saying now. I'm not saying it isn't dumbed down because they have removed certain abilities that you could have prior that you do have now. But it was almost the illusion of choice because everything still ended up rolling out into 2 to 3 pre-built things that you could apply to your character. Again, we do have less choice now than we did before with the abilities. I totally understand that. I'm just saying I feel like you're giving this system too much. It really, you didn't really have that much control over the customization.
Oh no, it was shit before, man. It was absolutely shit. You want to be tough, fast, or do you want to heal fast? Which of these 3 grenades do you want? Which of these 3 jumps do you want? Which of these 3 secret, I wouldn't say secret abilities, like do you want to be able to sense where chests are? Do you want to be able to turn invisible by crouching? Or do you want to have like faster, special respawn or some shit like that? But you could pick any combination of those things, which doesn't exist now. You have to pick one of 2 combinations they've chosen for you. What I am upset about isn't the fact that you went from a shitty system to a shittier system. That's only half of it. The other half that I'm outraged about is they had the opportunity to take the original and grow it into something really deep and interesting without being over complex. A perfect example, the Final Fantasy Online has a really deep system that isn't overly complex. And yet here, you've got something where they could have taken that system and grown it into something gratifying and giving you more than just loot to work for. But now you can build your character the way you want, maybe turn this ability on, turn that ability off. That was an interesting concept. You didn't have to spend extra points to go back in and restat your character. You just reselect the orbs. But now none of that exists. So they went from something that was insipid to an insult to the people that play the fucking game. And that is what makes me angry. I'm not denying the steps forward they've made with the mods, and I told you I agree with you. It was garbage before. I never felt like it made a tremendous amount of difference either way. But the ability to choose this grenade with that specific tilt to the alt, with this ability to turn invisible or sense chests or so on and so forth, with this jump, I could custom build. I don't have that choice now. And with a hunter especially, there's one grenade that I favor on one tree, and then on the other stupid little 4-part tree, there's the ability with the alt that I favor, and I cannot have both, which worked well for my playstyle. Now I'm fucked either way.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That's one thing that I think I definitely agree with, is that the skill trees is, once you pick a certain skill tree, you're set with that, and you can't basically mix and match. Like, and that goes with other, MMO style skill trees, is that once you've sort of picked that, area, you kind of stuck with it. What they should have done, which, I think would have really helped out, was the way they did. And one thing I wanted to point out is when I was playing this game for the first time now, it really felt, and I hope I'm not wrong on this, it felt like I was playing Borderlands, a more serious version of Borderlands, because it reminded me a lot of Borderlands, where you did missions for loot. Of course, there's way more customization in that game. The skill trees were a lot more involved, and you can actually kind of pick and choose what you wanted. But yeah, I can definitely see because with my Warlock, I love being able to have a certain grenade, but with the skills, I really wish some of them were mixed and matched because it would make it a lot, I want to say easier, but it would definitely fit into more of the play style, and I think it would just, give more of that customization. But I don't know. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll tweak it, maybe they won't, but I can definitely agree with you on that. That's something that I saw that I wish would be more customizable.
No, yeah, I understand. Oh, man. It's almost 10 o'clock already.
What's the storage? Like how large is Destiny 2?
Like 30 gigs.
What's it?
Yeah.
It's like 35 gigs, something like that.
Wait, disc or download?
Probably download.
Both.
I play disc and Kyle plays download.
So I still got.
I don't think it matters. I think there's just a little bit of it on the disc, and the rest you have to download.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look and see what mine is while you guys are talking.
No, because I still gotta get my PlayStation Plus back up. And I don't know, I'll see if I can go find it and grab a copy. So, because the one thing I took from playing Destiny was it was fun.
38.28 by the way.
And 38.28. Okay.
Yeah. And
you said disc for you?
That's
Shawn?
me on disc, yeah. So it should be a little bit higher for Kyle.
Yeah. But and like you said, Shawn, like you enjoyed it purely for Destiny 1 with your friends. Like that's what
just playing with my friends, yeah. Antony doing the raids and doing stupid shit. Antony's Nova Bomb, Kyle barking at us for not, falling exactly according to his silly master plan, so on and so forth.
Hey, here
we have a great
good
team. No,
good
we're just
gaming
really good
memories.
Together. We are.
Yeah.
We're the angry nerd family, and that's really where my enjoyment got out of it. The raids and just doing stuff with the guys. That was the only reason why I even continued to play it. Even if I didn't have nearly as many fun people to play it, I would have still purchased this. This holds its own merit, whereas the other one just simply did not. This is a massively better game, and I think people that did not like Destiny could potentially like this, but I would still play their friend's copy first just to make sure.
I don't think I would get the game just to play it by myself. I mean, I feel like I would need I would have to have friends to play with. Cause
well, ultimately, yes.
I would assume to be
your enjoyment's going to come from that.
Exactly. So that's the one thing I'll take from that.
Yeah, again, Destiny, its biggest appeal, I'd say, to it is the fact that there's so much that you can do with someone else. That the way they have it set up is that everyone's progressing, even though you're set on different levels. No one's really locked. Well, they do have some bars to the to certain activities, obviously, because you don't want to get shit stomped because you're level 2 trying to do a raid or whatever. But
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the little other changes we have. They've made changes to the PvP, where prior, the biggest change is that they've changed the way weapons work, the loot works. So now we have kinetic weapons, which do unaspected damage in a pool of auto rifle, pulse rifle, scout rifle, sidearm, hand cannon, and submachine gun. And they're all kinetic damage, which means it's just unaspected damage. There's no element connected to them. And they sit in your primary slot. Your secondary slot is your energy weapon, which always has an aspected damage, but connects to the same pool as the first set of weapons. So your all those weapons I just listed off, but they all have an element connected to them now. So they'll have enemies in the game with a shield that another cool thing that they did not have in the first game is if you pop a shield using the element that shield's connected to, that shield will detonate doing damage to the enemy and the enemies around him, which is cool. That's not something that exists in the first game. So now there's a reason to actually pay attention to elements when you're firing your gun. Also, it's cool with the mods that they added. If you have a gun that is a fire weapon, it's not stuck to being a fire weapon. You could change the mod on it to make it a void weapon or an arc weapon, which didn't exist in the first game. But
it did exist.
No, it did not. With this change that is really interesting is now they have more opportunity for weapon pairing, where prior, if you had an exotic weapon, you had an exotic weapon. And then your secondary would be like a shotgun, a sniper, or something like that. But now, with the way they have the kinetic and energy weapons set up, they have these cool combos that they do, where say like the Mida Multi-Tool, which is a really good scout rifle. Now they have an SMG that can be paired with it, that when you're using the SMG, you get the same speed bonuses that the multi-tool provides, even though you're holding the SMG instead. And they have a couple of these weapon combos, which I find cool. They're almost like loadouts for your character. Now, again, you're not stuck to these loadouts. You could pretty much use whatever the fuck you want, as long as it falls into these categories and it's not like multiple exotics. You can only have one exotic equipped at a time for armor and weapons. But I think it's cool because there's more synchronization between your weapons. I like the mod system because you can have the changing of elements is nice, especially in the Nightfall and stuff like that. But the biggest problem that this solves is you can no longer have snipers or shotguns in your secondary slot, which was the case in Destiny 1. The problem with that is in the PvP, when you played, anyone can spawn with a shotgun and run around with a couple of bullets in their shotgun. So you had a lot of people do that, and you had to deal with the constant threat that a shotgun can be around any corner. They've made the game, at least in the PvP aspect, much more competitive in the fact that a lot of it is how good you are with your aim, whether you're running around as a team and team shooting, focusing fire on a single enemy to take them out quicker, doing stuff like that. It's much more of a competitive feel to the game. It makes it feel nicer. It's much more fun this way. You're not getting domed by a sniper across the map or a shotgun that was able to spawn with it. And on top of the fact is now that they all sit in the power weapon slot, you could only have like a rocket launcher equipped or a sniper equipped or a shotgun equipped. And I think they did a good job of balancing the game because they made the snipers much stronger, because you had to sacrifice a rocket launcher or something else in order to use the sniper. I feel like the snipers and shotguns are much better than they were in the second game because they know, like, this is their only option. If they have this, we got to make it where they won't feel like they're at a disadvantage because they're using a shotgun. So that's nice.
Shotguns feel a lot more effective now. I had some really great snipers in the first game and some really great hand cannons. And what I'd consider the strong weapons. I had some really good ones that I don't know if the snipers to me feel like they've taken that much of an upgrade, but the shotguns definitely feel like fucking you're running around Duke Nukem style, like a badass, just macho motherfucker blowing shit up for sure. Yeah. I think the weapons have it takes some getting used to, because Kyle and I both had reservations when we started playing it about how they fuck the weapons around and shit, but after playing it for a while, I definitely don't have much of a gripe with how they've handled the weapons. I do have a gripe about forcing 4-player. I've told you before, I like tight strategy. That's why I was so fond of the Trials of Osiris over any other kind of Crucible stuff. I really like Trials because there's a deeper, more intense, tightly woven strategy when you're playing that, and communication is key. But when you're doing Crucible, forcing a 4-player match versus like 4v4 is fucking stupid. Like, give people an option. If you want to have a new version where you've got, okay, here's your 6-man, here's a big grand melee that's just madness with like 15. Here's one over here with a tighter strategy where it's 4 versus 4. That I can accept, but to force it in a direction, I think, is ridiculous.
Yeah, I understand you 100% because it restricts how much you can do if you have more than 4 people that you play with. But I understand the change entirely because, again, they're trying to make it more of a squad-based kind of shooter where you're running around with a group of people when everyone's kind of working together. And I think the way they've... No, well, again, I think the way they've changed the maps also reflects that as well. The maps are smaller. There's more... The corners you hold are... It feels like they put a lot of thought into the map design, at least in the maps I played in the multiplayer. Again, I would love a big team mode with like vehicles. They had that. They had some times they'd have that in Destiny 1. I think that'd be cool. But again, it's not that big of a deal for me, especially now that the raid's out, because I feel like if we were going to do something with everybody, it'd be the raid, or at least get progress done on the raid.
But now all we have is the raid to do 6 people, where before we could get 6 people together, go in and cream some motherfuckers in Crucible.
I wish you can do
which was about the only time I enjoyed it. Was if we were doing Crucible, we had 6 of us in there. That was fun.
I wish you could
That's
do the
impossible now.
I wish you could do the patrol with more people. I think that'd be cool. And maybe if you were to try and do a mission, it would restrict you or something. I'd at least have something more you can do with more people.
Yeah.
Also, I think they did a good job of alleviating my biggest reservation when it came to having everything in the power weapon slot that wasn't like the previous guns I had listed was the fact of ammo issues. I was concerned about ammo issues, but I feel like they've done a very good job, especially being like I've played half of the raid. I think they've done a very good job of making ammo not an issue. There are multiple ways to acquire ammo while you're playing. In the raids, they make sure that there are segments of the raid while you're doing something where you need ammo. They provide, because they have enemies in the game, that if they are red or yellow health enemies, they will always drop a heavy ammo drop. So you know for sure they're pretty much walking ammo resupplies. You know for sure that once I kill that enemy, I'll get ammo back. So, and they have areas in the raid or even in public events that you do where they'll swarm you with those enemies, and they make sure that you're prepared with ammo. Everything's well designed in the fact that if they know that you're going to need it for something, they'll make sure that you have a way of getting it. And again, it's not they're not just throwing it at you. A lot of these enemies, they're tougher to kill and they do more damage on top of that. So I have no issue with the way that they've changed the guns any way, shape, or form. I really enjoy the way it is now. Again, a lot of the game, just huge quality of life improvements. The game is overall more enjoyable to play and is overall more enjoyable even in the aspects where you're performing the repetitive stuff. Because again, a lot of the end game, after you beat that story, you're repeating shit. You're doing the same stuff over and over again. And that's why what I was saying again, when we went back to the fact that in that aspect, it still is like Destiny. This game is very repetitive. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're not that type of person where you can't sit and do something over again or wait for something to reset on Tuesday and then you go back and do the same actions again to get better stuff, that's something that does not sound appealing to you. That's the one reason I think that, although, again, starting Destiny, it's enjoyable because you're getting shitloads of gear, but once you hit that first wall and then you're at the point where, I got to go do this mission again. There's only like 4 of them on a roulette, and that's when the game starts to become grating. I've talked to people about it. The game it can become grating very easily, and that's how it shares the aspects of the initial Destiny. Again, huge quality of life improvements. The game is overall much more enjoyable, much more pretty. And again, the gunplay is as fantastic as it was in the initial Destiny. Just a fun game. And I'd recommend, again, if you're going to get it, I would rather you have someone to play with if you were, because then it'd be like if you're playing Call of Duty, you play the story or do whatever you do. And once you're done with that, if you're not a fan of playing multiplayer by yourself, you're not going to enjoy the game. You'll just drop it eventually. So if you have people to play with, or you could convince people to play it with you, or you know people that have it, definitely connect with them, because this game is a social game.
Yeah, have you noticed that a lot of the guns that were worth, I still find myself throwing them away before I think about it, but perks before where it's like this reloads faster or it does more damage after you draw it out, they're coming out more frequently, and it seems like now that I'm paying closer attention to the tiny little perks, which are much more like they've stripped perks out. Like before you had to level up things. Now that doesn't exist, which is kind of weak. And before you had more dots of different perks and selectable things on weapons. It's much smaller now. So they've kind of drizzled that down as well. But I've noticed that now the way that a lot of the guns function, those damage boosts after reloading and damage boosts after switching weapons, if you make a build around it, like I've been paying, you can actually have a powerful build because there's enough different weapons that have these common perks to where that can actually get pretty nasty. Like I looked at like I don't know what you call it, a bestiary of the weapons, and started seeing potential builds with a lot of these things I've just been throwing away. So it's not like before where it was kind of pointless. Those perks really didn't have much value. Now, by themselves, they're fucking stupid. But if you have a build with select weapons in each slot area where you can stack these different perks and combinations where, because you're constantly switching weapons, you're always going to have a damage boost kicking or, reload perks and things like that. Like, it's a lot more effective now. So even though they've stripped perks away, which I hate, I do like the fact that what they did end up still leaving us, the breadcrumbs they've left us, are still potent now. You just have to be smart about it.
Yeah, no, I do see that too. And again, I need to pry myself away from the Mida to even see it, because the multi-tool is just such a strong fucking gun. You dominate everything with it. It's so good. The thing that I don't see, I did not like the leveling up or the finding the materials. I felt it was very just monotonous and annoying. So I like the fact that the guns are fully leveled and you could change the perks. I do not like the fact that they did remove things. I do agree with you on that. They removed a lot when it came to, like, you still got a decent choice when it comes to, like, the scopes on the weapon, but they would have like 5 to 6 rows of stuff that you can choose in between, where now it's like 3 to 4. But I hated the fact that you had to level up a weapon, especially when you were
give me my perks.
Especially when you were no, I understand. But especially when you were end game, you're like, oh, I got this really cool gun from the raid. Oh, now I got to go sit and level this thing slow as fuck, because it took forever to level the weapons. That I did not enjoy it, and I am happy that that's been removed. But I do agree with you, the fact that they have removed a decent amount of things from the weapons, and I feel. I'm thinking, what else has changed? We talked about Crucible, and I like the fact that you can't run around with a shotgun anymore. I like that on top of that, when you do pick up power ammo, they notify everyone in the game that a weapon has been loaded at this point. So you are aware that there's someone running around with either a shotgun, fusion rifle, sword, whatever they have, because it told you, like, a fusion rifle was loaded at this point. And on top of that, they also show you if someone's running around with a weapon that's a power weapon, they'll have like a light on them. You'll see like almost like a red dot sight is aimed at you, kind of, that they're running around with their power weapon out. So you know for sure that this person has a loaded power weapon, and you could adjust accordingly to that. The game doesn't feel as unfair as it did initially. Again, you could still turn a corner and get blindsided by a dude with a fully auto shotgun, but still.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy a lot of the quality of life improvements to the game. I feel are good. And the raid, I've played the raid. The raid is fantastic, really cool. I understand when we read an article a while back when they were talking about that they wanted this raid to feel like it's something that existed and something that it feels more of like a journey, where instead of you going somewhere and just going in a linear path, fighting a boss every couple stages and stuff like that. I feel like this raid feels like you're on this epic journey with your team through this like labyrinth of stuff, and everything about it is meticulously designed. It looks awesome. The rewards for it are really cool. I like the theme around it, like the regal aspect to it. I like just everything about it. Again, I haven't finished it yet. I like that they've changed the way the game is played, where you're not fighting a boss every 10 minutes. Instead of that, you're dealing with mechanics more often than not. So instead of it being like there'll be a boss with mechanics connected to it, now it's just a room with mechanics. So you're not actually fighting a boss. You're still it's technically the same thing, because it will involve you doing damage to something in order to finish it, but you're not being thrown a boss that you have to shoot that like bullet sponge for 15 minutes. It's more the fact that you're moving through this place and you're changing it and stuff like that. I like it's cool. The raid's really fucking awesome. I'm hoping that we could take everyone through it one day. Maybe tomorrow, Sunday, because I'll be available. Well, it'd have to be after I like work and go to sleep and stuff, but maybe everyone will be on. We could get at least a little bit of it done. Get you guys some of the rewards
tonight, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. He also had to go to like.
You know what else I
party.
think is a big improvement, though, is that what were they called? The patrols were garbage before. They were stupid. They were busy work. They weren't fun. They usually didn't provide you a lot of story.
You mean the map?
Sometimes there'd be little sprinklings. yeah, just funny little flashing things. Sometimes they would give you flavor. Like you started to learn that Future War Cult was more about Wetworks and Black Ops and Spec Ops, and Dead Orbit was more like information brokers and well, no, I'm sorry. The Future War Cult was more like spies and Wetworks, and Dead Orbit was more like intelligence based. And you started getting little bits in here and there of what those different things did through the patrols, but overall they were fucking worthless, and you just didn't get much of it. And now you still have patrols; you can still do those to get extra gear to feed things and just fun stuff to do. But they've expanded, and you have this half bastard baby between a strike and a patrol, which is the adventures. And they usually have 3 parts to them, and they're always heavily based on story. It just builds more atmosphere. That adds so much value to going back to certain play areas. I mean, I'm sure they're going to get old eventually, but it's still just another layer of niceness that the first one fucking needed. Like, the first one feels so much like a beta or a year 0 compared to this. This actually feels like a fully fledged game, and the first one never did. I think that's a huge improvement.
Yeah, I feel you. But the patrols still exist in 2.
Yeah,
they're just been completely thrown to they've just been thrown to the side. They're like something extra you can do if you want something to do. But the adventures are something in this entirely new thing that's really nice. Again, a lot of these are designed around the fact that you could either play them by yourself or play them with a group, and I think that's cool. I was arguing with not the Tyler we're speaking with right now, that his beautiful self, but another Tyler that we know, that he was saying that he didn't like the final fight in the game. We're not going to spoil anything about it, but he didn't like that it felt anticlimactic. And I was explaining to him,
I heard it was lacking.
I was explaining to him that the fact that when they design this campaign, it has to be designed around, we can't be putting in raid mechanics into this, because it has to be available for one person to run through or 4 people to run through. So they can't be throwing in like all these insane mechanics. I understand it on your own. The fight takes,
been nice to be deeper.
Yeah, on your own, the fight takes a bit, and again, I also explained to him a lot of the times the story, when you finish it, the story's not technically over, because a lot of the time the ending of the story is a setup for the raid, because the raid is like the true ending to that arc of the Destiny story. That's how they've always done it. Is you'll build up to this point. You kind of like the season ends and you're like given like a kind of like a cliffhanger, and they're like, oh, the raid. And then the raid will be like this huge event that you do that will be like a defining moment in the lore of Destiny. And so I was trying to explain it to him. That's why I can understand it not being this grandiose thing, although it was still pretty cool and cinematic. That it's because it's a stepping stone to the raid, because the raid is that final push, that final fight that you do with your team to complete that arc of Destiny's story. So, again, awesome. Just, we're really all enjoying the game. If you want to hit up any of us, our PlayStation stuff will be down below. We're like at 2 hours and 42 minutes. This is a long episode.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of just wrap it up. Those are all. Do you guys have any like final things to say real quick before we head out?
No, I'm good.
No,
I'm actually about to do the raid with my clan pretty soon.
Nice.
Excited.
Yep. Cool. So again, if you want to play with any of us, hit us up.
I've been playing all night.
Yeah, we're all pretty active on it on PS4. Everything will be down in the description. Join our Discord to come talk to us, say hi. If you want to organize some type of game night, I'm on PC as well as PS4. The rest of us are all on PS4. If you want to do something, hang out with us, feel free to hit us up. I'm going to get back into doing streaming and Let's Plays once the webcam comes in. So I'll be able to get face cam on top of other things for you guys. Just, again, producing more content for you guys. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Destiny 2, if you played any of Destiny 1, if you've been a big fan of the franchise. Also let us know what you're thinking for Nintendo coming forward, what you want to see from Nintendo, or if you're excited for these games we have coming up in the next couple of months. And without further ado, let me get a sign off from you guys. What you got for me? Don't all jump at once.
Hugs and kisses and all your pink parts.
Ooh. What about you, Sam?
The darkness has come, and I must retreat to the loneliness of my ever essence.
It's like that one Sonic meme: when you're faster than light, you have to live in the darkness.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, I had that fucking song stuck in my head for 3 days.
What about you, Tyler?
I'll see you all in Anthem.
Oh man, I didn't expect that at all.
There you go, Kyle. Surprise, motherfucker.
Yep. So that was episode 19 of the Thought Patrol podcast, where I was joined by all these beautiful people. Thank you guys for tuning in, chilling with us for the past 2 hours and 45 minutes. This might be the longest episode we've done yet. Just a lot. We missed a couple weeks, so we wanted to talk to you guys a lot because we love you. And yeah, you all have a fantastic week.